one knows.
Oh, Lord. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Be There in 5 podcast. I'm Kate Kennedy, your host. We're back with fan favorites, Caroline Moss and Nora McInerny. And we've just been chatting about how Nora just got her face perhaps macro-needled.
You for a micro price. Two recession indicators. Like your face
it literally
peels
is micro-needling?
It really is. Yeah, it's micro-needling.
On a Groupon.
On a Groupon.
Wait, no, you didn't really use a Groupon, did you?
Yes, I did, Kate.
She's not doing
I have
semantics.
Brown hair. I have brown hair and I'm back on Groupon. Okay, the economy is crashing.
Fashion's night out.
This isn't a bit?
It's not a bit. I got a Groupon. Not only that, I left, wasn't sure if I got maimed, got a notification saying, want to buy it again? And I said, yeah.
Is Groupon still in? Are you sure it wasn't like groupoff.net? Like, I don't think they're still in business.
Groupon is still in business, and you can get 98% off of like everything.
Yeah, I got. It's the same place I'm getting my laser hair removal done on my armpits.
Nora,
Nora
McInerny. You can afford better.
I said I can trust them with my armpits. Why wouldn't I trust her with my face?
My face.
I mean, you already know how much I paid last time I got Botox. I got to go back. Okay.
Actually, I forgot the number, but do it with your hands.
$1,500.
Oh,
okay, money
that's
bags.
Right. Yeah, that
What
wasn't
happened?
a Groupon.
That was not a Groupon. And that's why I'm on Groupon. Okay. Like,
I was just about to say, well, the one rule is
trying to
just
make
never
back
get
your money?
anything with needles on Groupon, but you like literally got thousands
I did.
of micro
Thousands of
needles.
needles. Thousands of needles.
You could do like a lawsuit with this face. Like,
I
why are you going
this
back?
is normal. You got to watch. I watched a bunch of TikToks about like how it heals, and your face is peeling off in sheets. Okay,
That's not a sheet.
That's
they're
a rug.
sheets.
That's rug burn.
That's a wound. Yeah.
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 A wound
I
set.
gotta watch some more videos.
She's so pleased
Yeah,
with
it is
herself.
giving rug burn.
It's giving
what funny
rug burn.
problem rug burn is.
It's giving rug burn. Yeah, enough about my face. You just have to address it because people do look at your face. I've thought all week I always think people are staring at me because they're attracted to me, and they probably are. But I realized at the gym, caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and I said, "Oh, these people are worried," or "Oh, these people are just these men are saying this is a woman who's been through something. I'll let her use this machine before me."
This is a woman who needs saving
And
by me.
You haven't not been through something.
Yeah, I went through something, and I think it's normal. It doesn't hurt. I think it hurts to look at, and I mean, we're in a recession. I'm on Groupon, and my hair is brown now. And what more evidence do you need?
And all we can do is thank you for your bravery. And I'm sorry for harping on it. I just wanted to tell the people she's okay, we think. And we look forward to your healing journey.
I think I bought 2 for $150. 2 sets of 2
Oh my God.
One
Jesus.
session is $350. So I'm still coming up.
Is it in like a basement back room? Is this a proper derm spot?
We're in Phoenix.
It's
Everything's
in the
in a
back of
strip
a
mall, and
truck.
you know it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I did
one strip mall after
crowdsourced
another.
An episode once where people wrote in their Groupon stories and they were diabolical. They were like, literally anybody on the side of the street could call something a business and put a deal on it. And people were getting like very obscure scalp treatments in storage
I gotta go back
closets,
to that
you know?
episode because there was when Groupon first came out, and that was the
thing.
That was scarcity mindset to the max. We were like, we have to get this Groupon. They're going to run out. Wow.
Beyond.
Trapeze
I'm
class.
telling you guys, go back to Groupon. I'm telling you right
I'm
now.
looking at it
both
right
of you,
now, actually.
Both of you open Groupon and see what's available.
I'm doing it.
around
I'm literally
you.
doing it right now.
I thought they went out of business. I know Living Social did. Living Social was a little chicer.
Living Social is just for
was
manicures
like Ideally, right?
and hairs. Oh my God, I remember Ideally.
Oh, Ideally was to me that was the bottom of the barrel. But Kate, you did not reply because I knew you would know the name of this. But like, what was one of the sort of luxury drop websites? I can't remember. It's like on the tip of my tongue, and I think their logo was maroon.
Look.
It might have been Guilt Group.
Guilt Group.
Guilt Group.
Outlook.
Guilt Group.
Or Guilt
Group.
Group was like, it was an online storefront that was essentially a overstock inventory Marshalls.
Yeah, because they got you by saying like, we are going to drop this Mark by Marc Jacobs.
Mark by Marc Jacobs by Jacobs
Tuesday
for
at
Mark
10
by
a.m.
Marc
and
Jacobs.
you would be like,
Marc Jacobs by Marc Jacobs. Mark by Marc Jacobs. Jacobs Mark by Marc Jacobs for Marc Jacobs.
And I would be lined up. I'd be buying things.
Obsessed with the Marc Jacobs diffusion line. And I did not know it was a diffusion line.
I didn't either.
I didn't know what that was.
Like,
what is a diffusion line anyway? Why would I know that? I was making $31,000 a year.
I don't know, like, if I did anything that crazy.
You didn't,
it was just like a lot of hobbyist stuff.
No, I did a lot of like balayage on Groupon.
Oh, well, you have to.
Yeah, they won't let you stay in New York if you didn't do balayage in 2013 for like $90 instead of like $800 or whatever it was supposed to cost.
Yeah. In Minneapolis, it was a lot of breakfast. I'm not familiar with that one.
Breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast for some reason was like always on Groupon.
We didn't have balayage yet. No frozen yogurt.
No, in 2010 in Minneapolis, it was like, this restaurant, you can get, $50 for 25 on Groupon. They only have 30 of them. And we were like, thank God, great.
I feel like manufactured scarcity was really over our heads, like diffusion lines. Like, I was a marketer, unaware of how I was being marketed to, and actively shopping for about 4 hours of the workday.
Me too.
Definitely. I still am. I turned that into my entire job.
Can you believe it?
I know. All I do is shop. It is funny, though. I don't know that I was really aware of the, like, I don't know. I don't know that I understood why things were ending up on, like, a guilt group.
Oh, no. And also,
like, why all of a sudden they started calling everything a sample sale when it wasn't a sample sale. It was just a sale.
It was a sale.
Oh, my God.
It was a sale. It was a sample of a sale. You could try this sale. But it's so funny because, Caroline, it's like you are your wisest self now, being like, if you don't need it, it's not a deal. And yet, at that era, you could have said that to me and I would have said, you're stupid, because this is a Marc by Marc Jacobs, Jacob Marc bag. It's this big. It costs $300.
A big silver, like, thing on it.
Huge silver buckle. It's half
and
of
I'll
my
wear
paycheck.
it forever. It's classic.
It's a classic. Why wouldn't I want this Coach wristlet that almost fits my flip phone and 6 credit cards? I will obviously keep this for the rest of my life.
My daughter will want this.
And actually, bad example because my daughter did want it.
Yeah.
So
remember we sent her a Dooney and Burke. I think that was last year, maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Still
in heavy rotation. That's like a
Dooney and Burke. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kate has a son and I don't have kids. And so it's like a rite of passage. We get to buy some teen. They're Dooney and Burke.
A bag that she coveted and was like.
She coveted it.
Wow.
Really?
Like,
so she was aware of the brand.
She's aware of it.
It's outside of like
really,
the OC.
It's a piece of vintage history.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. She gets. I've watched girls her age like stop her and compliment her, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, it's like a vintage bag. I got it from like my mom's friends. Like I could ask them where they got it, but you probably couldn't afford it because
it's probably
2 adult women bought it for me who were there when it was invented.
I can't remember where we found it. Did we find it on eBay? It was like a 2003 vintage.
You have to gatekeep it. There might be a teenager listening to this.
We have to gatekeep it?
Gatekeep it. There might be a teenager listening to this. We don't want them to know.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of heists, I think that you have to be very careful revealing what material goods you have in the home.
Yeah.
On your arm.
Yeah.
And otherwise.
Yeah. And that's where the Louvre went wrong, honestly.
The Louvre always advertising what they have.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you were asking for it, the Louvre.
Truly. They're like, we have all this stuff here by a window.
Yeah. Were you guys the one that sent me that TikTok that was just like, in a time of like crypto heists, these people got a ladder and climbed into the Louvre and stole something. And it's like, you got to give it to them. That's classic.
You got to go back to basics.
Back to basics. Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to have skills that translate to the real world.
Absolutely. Like, AI is taking your job, heist people.
That's why I know these weren't Gen Z. These weren't Gen Alpha. They drove a stick shift
Gen X
work truck up
absolutely
to the Louvre.
Gen X.
Extended a ladder.
They were between 48 and 53. And they were like, the world owes us something and we're going to get these jewels.
Isn't it rumored to be these like Yugoslavian ex-military guys called the Pink Panthers because one of their famous heists, they put a giant diamond inside a thing of face cream and that's how they smuggled it. And that's what they did in the original Pink Panther movie.
That's cool.
But
Okay.
yeah, they're definitely upper 40s in my head.
Yeah.
And I think that like it's really, yeah, there's so many things that are like wild about it. But the fact that it was during business hours on a weekend, it was during the rush.
Well, you've heard of ladder theory, right? On TikTok, where it's like if you have a ladder anywhere, you can walk into any building with a ladder.
You mean business?
No one will stop you.
Yeah.
You can walk into a movie theater with a ladder. No one's going to stop you. These guys were doing this, like just walk anywhere with a ladder. I say pull up with a ladder. People are also not going to ask a lot of questions. And now
I just had a flash of like someone being like, we got into this concert by like really confidently like walking in like we were maintenance.
Walking with a ladder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to walk in with a ladder. And there is another heist movie on Netflix right now, Kate. Matthew's special interest in his late 40s.
It was
my
Matthew.
God.
He did it. Where was he the other day?
I don't
In
know,
Paris?
but he was excited to tell me about this heist. And so,
I bet.
okay.
And all of a sudden now Nora's wearing a crown and she's like, oh my
I
God,
just
where'd
got
he
my
get
ears
this?
pierced. This is so suspicious. And I did not use a Groupon for this. I paid so much. I was just going to jam an earring in, but Caroline told me not to do that. So I paid to go get my ears pierced.
Yeah, what
And-
is this? The Parent Trap? I truly like.
Yeah.
This is why Matthew said my wife is using a Groupon to get her face microneedled. Something has to be done. I'm going to the Louvre and I'm gonna make us some money
Yeah,
so
literally.
my wife can get a legitimate spa treatment.
Times are dire.
Times are
Yeah.
higher.
This man is into heists. There's a lot of heist documentaries on Netflix. And I love a heist because I think it's a victimless crime.
Yeah.
You know, in today's culture of oftentimes like cruelty in the name of humor, like I'm careful to LOL at a crime if anybody is hurt anywhere. But this truly, nobody got hurt.
It's
Don't get
so
hurt.
funny. Immediately they were reporting, they were like, oh, there's like a lot of evidence that the Louvre had like disregarded a lot of different security updates over the years because they thought they were fine. Like, who's going to steal from the Louvre? We don't have to deal with
Also, like these are stolen jewels. Like, you know, people are getting robbed every day. Like billionaires are robbing us all the time. Like
those jewels were colonized from another time. Like,
okay. Like no one
cool.
is talking about what these thieves gave, like what they gave, which is every single person who is at or around the Louvre that day can say
that's a story.
they've got a story for the rest of their lives. They're going to say, you know, the jewel heist. Yeah, I was actually there that
I was
day.
there.
Was there?
I find out all of these news stories now because one of my new morning routines is I get up and I put on the Today Show, and it's usually the 7 o'clock hour, and then I watch until like 8:15. And
Intellectual.
I know. I consider myself a student of the world, but this is how I consume my media now because like the phone notifications are too much for me, and every 2 seconds it's like something I don't like. So I'm like, I will sit down and I will watch the news. So that's how I found out the heist, and of course, in like true 24/7 news television fashion, they were like, okay, we're throwing it to like do in front of the Louvre, and they like were interviewing this couple from Nebraska that was like, yeah, we were there, and
We were there.
We heard a crash, and we don't know if that was them leaving or coming in, but we did not want to stay and find out, so we left. And
I would have said
was
we're
like,
staying to find out.
I saw that interview with them like 4 times. They like played it on repeat. It's like when the Pope dies. They like go to Rome and they're like, hey, are you sad? And people are like, yes, I am.
Yeah.
But like,
Yes, he had that
my God.
one blabbermouth brother in Chicago that was like, he's a Sox fan.
yeah, he's a Sox fan.
He
He comes over and watches the games. We don't talk to our other brother.
He's like, oh man.
When the Pope before the Pope who died, I can't remember. Remember the Pope who retired suddenly?
Nora,
Yeah,
we cannot get on another
Benedict.
Pope tangent on this
Oh,
program.
you guys did this
I
already.
can't
All
and I
right.
won't.
Sorry to say. I'll take you off of it. I want to talk about what we're here to talk about.
Wait, I'll get there too. But also, what's crazy is my friend was with her 3 young children at the Louvre like last month, and her 4-year-old and like 3-year-old, they got kicked out of that wing, the jewel wing, because the girls were touching the walls.
The walls?
The walls, like they're not watching. Like the whole thing is very weird. And them, did you see how they broke into that case, stole like 2 of the things, and left that huge ass diamond just like sitting there out in the open and didn't take it?
Yeah.
It's, like there's some, with stuff that there's no harm done and like who cares, I do love to be a conspiracy theorist just for like sport entertainment. And I think there's something about this heist that's very Dorit Kemsley phone left on the ledge. They just dropped a full crown.
They said on the Today Show, they were like, if they don't recover those jewels and gems within 48 hours, they might as well just stop looking.
Yeah,
because the second they get detached from the crowns and the like settings or whatever, you cannot track them.
I agree. And no one's going to let me tell my Pope story. Okay.
Is it good, Nora?
No.
On the Pope-treon.
The Pope-treon.
Just Nora's stories about the Pope.
I'm starting a new podcast. It's Patreon only. All we talk about is the Pope, various ones.
24/7 Pope by Nora. It's like Jenny's room. What was her name? What was the first streamer? What was her name? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Someone out there knows. Anyways, 24/7, she just like streamed her room. She was like doing her homework. Eating her lunch.
Katy Perry before the Witness album launch.
Maybe. Listen. Could be Nora.
I think what's so crazy about this too is just like the TikTok. Like, I think what's funny is not funny and disturbing is now everyone feels called to like produce an elaborate theory. And when you're watching it, you can't tell. I'm like, oh, does this person have like an art history degree or are they, a curator of some kind?
Do they have a heist degree?
I like spent like 10 minutes.
Have they ever been asked about
very
the Pope?
convincing woman. And Nora, this
Nora, can it? This is Kate's show. We'll never get back again. We'll never get us back. Keep it together, woman.
This woman was like very convincingly going through how it's obviously an inside job because like very recently there was a historical society meeting talking about like the Louvre and buildings like it in this area and how they had to like uphold historical society standards for like architectural integrity. And there were people that were like, we have to reinforce these windows. Like they're so easy to break into. And there was like this whole lobbying movement for like structural integrity.
Yeah, that's
and,
what the Today Show was saying.
It came out of nowhere. And it's like, who's funding the structural integrity lobby to keep these weak-ass windows at the Louvre? And I was like, and then I went to her profile. She's like a dental hygienist. I'm like, okay.
Don't say that about dental hygienists. Listen.
It's Caroline.
Kennedy doesn't think dental hygienists can care about.
I don't think she knows a lot about structural integrity of historic buildings in France.
How do you know?
Okay.
Listen, I've known many dental hygienists who are also very well versed. Where's she? Where did Nora go?
You're turning the dental hygienist against me as if it was a dig at their profession. I respect their work.
This is clearly an art history major, Paris historian, architecture maven. And she's like, no, I like do like orthodontia molds.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
I respect a hobbyist heist expert.
Listen.
It's just hard to know who to trust anymore. Sidebar before we get into Dancing with the Stars, that's a genuine question I have. Have either of you gotten a gum graft or like had to get recessed gums fixed?
No,
I did
want to know
once,
everything about it though.
I did not like it.
How does a recessed gum happen? Because I'm very afraid
and I'm worried I'm not going to be able to talk for.
Are you doing
my job? Well, I like need to, but it's a fortune.
What are you supposed to do? Like how does that happen? How can I prevent it? Because I'm very afraid of all teeth stuff.
Your teeth are great.
You have a perfect mouth that looks like Miley Cyrus's.
Thank you.
Oh,
you have
a
great
Groupon
teeth
for
too,
veneers
Kate.
would be a nice deal. Risky.
Oh, I would never get veneers. I've seen too many TikToks about the truth about veneers. Veneers freak me out.
Well,
and also,
I want veneers
I
so
like
badly.
real human teeth. No, I like everybody having different teeth.
Nora,
It's
remember
okay.
my fake teeth?
It was the most frightening thing you've ever.
They're sitting right next to me. I just pulled them out of the drawer.
Put them on. Put them on for the
Did you
camera.
pretend you had veneers?
It's worse.
No.
This is a little pageant, girl. Put on your flipper. Do it.
Flipper.
I got like an Instagram ad like 5 years ago. It was like mid-pandemic and I was vulnerable and like mid-quarantine and I was vulnerable. And I had Googled like, I hate my teeth like far too many times and started getting served this ad that was for like cosmetic dentures. So it was just like, I can't put them. It's too embarrassing if people are watching this.
Do it. This will be
Okay,
only
I see it.
Patreon. Okay. This will be only
This
fans.
will be a 30-second segment I charge people for.
Okay.
Honestly,
I think it's what Carl from Summer House did.
Just smile. Wait,
Freaks me
honestly,
out.
Thank you, Kate. I also think they're not that bad, but I have a clear
the
list.
lisp is tough.
I also have the bottom
Can
ones,
you
but
smile?
Oh my God.
I put them on and Dan like threw things at me. I put them on and Nora threw things at me. I put them on and my best friend Rachel from college threw things at me. So I was 0 for 3.
Okay, Kate, what you really have to imagine, though, is that, like, I moved Caroline from LA to New York.
She takes it.
Those things made the cut from one house to 2 houses to 3
the
houses
third
in LA,
house.
4th house in New York City.
You saw the top ones. Now let me put the bottom ones in. Let me see what you think.
Oh, okay. That was my next question.
Both of them together look insane, but sometimes one.
I can't believe they're custom fit to your teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, could you put them together? I'm loving this final product.
Oh,
Okay, no.
it's so spooky. It's Bob Barker. It's the
Carl
color.
Radke.
Cartoon sheet smile. Yeah, it's
In
the
real life,
opposite
the
of
color
American
is
Girl teeth.
so
Could you be
alarming.
showing more teeth?
It is. It's original American Girl doll teeth.
It's this.
It is. It is.
Have you
It
ever
is.
worn those home and acted like nothing happened?
No, but I think about it all the time.
I think you have to. It's like an Invisalign type thing that's just white.
It's you can choose between different whites. That's even the whitest option, which is so insane. It's like Hollywood white, normal person white, not white at all. And then it's like, what's that for? It's not about the color of my teeth. I don't like how tiny they are.
Oh, I really A, like your teeth. B, I don't
Yeah.
think I actually think that's a great business idea.
I mean, listen,
and-
they had one customer at least.
Yeah.
PopOnVeneers.com, everyone. I was in a dark place.
Wow.
I remember we were driving back from Big Bear and I ordered them like while we were like in and out of service in the car. I make all of my worst purchases when I have like shoddy Wi-Fi.
Or when you're in transit. You are a
When I'm-
transit purchase girl.
I'm a
you
transit
are a liminal
purchaser.
space purchaser.
Do you want to tell Kate? Do you want to tell Kate the biggest one? You can.
Please.
I don't mind saying it here. It's okay.
Caroline's on a flight.
Okay, here. You know when
Cruise
like
along.
post-divorce people get like do like some
Yeah.
manic shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this was the say it, Nora. This is the manic thing that I did.
She bought a Volvo. While she's on a
I bought a
flight.
car. I bought a car
buys
on
a
a
car.
flight. I
Goes
said I
on-
just bought a car.
She goes on Carvana.com. She says, I want this Volvo. It arrives and she goes, oh, great. It's electric.
No, I said
Dang.
I said it's hybrid. And I was like,
yeah.
"That's great. This is exciting." And I need
Yeah.
a new car because my car was in the shop for like
Yeah.
6,000 years, and I was like, I'm just ready to get rid of it and get a new car. And I buy this car, and I'm like, and it arrives on my birthday, and I deserve this for my birthday, and I'm like
Yeah.
gonna finance it or whatever. And Nora's like,
Yeah.
where are you? And I was like, I don't know, somewhere over in Nebraska, and on Carvana.com, and the car shows up. I said, I'm buying a hybrid electric.
Yes. And I said, that's so
Volvo.
cool. Wow. A hybrid is such a great idea. It's an electric. This is the car that she drove
It's a fully
to
electric car.
from LA to Phoenix.
You wanted a
Um,
hybrid. You got to plug in only.
She had a plug-in
Car
only.
without reading what it was. Like that's
Yeah.
how manic I was. I was like, this is
Yeah.
what I'm buying, and I like didn't even look at the like description. Like
It's like Instacart
my-
for cars. You needed
a little
one.
bit.
You got it.
it was Instacar, and that's what
It was
happened.
Instacart.
Like and then I was like, and then I
really
first
is.
of all completely stuck to my guns and was like, no, I meant
Yeah.
to do this.
I
And drove
wanted
it
this.
to Phoenix
Yeah.
from LA and had to
12
stop
hours.
every like 4 hours to charge
Yeah.
it
It's
behind
supposed to be
9
a 4-hour
other people.
drive, by the way.
It's supposed to be a max 5-hour drive. It took me 12
Yeah.
hours to get to Phoenix.
There weren't enough plugs, or it wasn't holding charge.
No, the car was
Is that just
perfectly fine.
normal?
There weren't enough plugs. There were like 1,000 people just trying to charge their car.
Yeah.
And in California and in the West, there are a lot of Tesla stations, but there's not a lot of places for like non-Tesla electric cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was
That's
like
messed
digging
up.
in my heels, and I was like, no, this is my best idea ever.
Yeah.
Did
But
you
know what?
return it?
Here's
Can
the
you
thing.
return a car on Carvana?
You can within 7 days. I didn't return it within 7 days, but
Yeah.
when I decided to move back to New York, I sold it.
But here's the thing is I think you did read the description, but what happened to you, I believe, is what happens to me often, where it's like you initially were like hybrid, Volvo. Then you saw one and it was like you might like, and you're like, yeah, I do like this color. Right?
I
You
was
got,
like,
you got
yeah,
sidetracked by
right.
a
Might have been
feature.
cheaper too.
And that one
It
feature
probably was
took you
cheaper.
away from the main feature you wanted, which is how
you
I
can
make
put
most
gas
of my
in.
mistakes.
Yeah. And it was
That's how I ended up with that astrological custom jewelry that's not my sign.
what do you have? What do you have? And what did you think you were getting?
I thought I was getting Virgo, but this is a lion. I clicked the one next to it.
It's a Leo. Yeah.
It's a Leo.
I love a Leo.
And
Pretty.
it's still cute. The problem is I couldn't return it because I got it engraved.
Do you have Leo in your chart anywhere?
Probably.
Teddy.
Oh, that's why you got it.
So
That's
it's
great.
like I'm playing it off as purposeful, but when I got it, I was
Yeah.
like,
Whoops.
details.
Well,
Oh, my Teddy's a Leo. Oh, I love that. Aaron
He's
is a Leo.
such a classic Leo. I have no
Yeah.
idea what they do, but probably a classic one.
Erica's-
Impulse purchasing a car and new teeth is just wow. I'm inspired.
We go through a
Caroline.
lot. As
This
women,
is why
we go through a
trust you
lot.
for our shopping needs.
It's true.
I do it so no one else has to. But I would never buy a car sitting still, not at 30,000 feet. Never.
I have to agree. I did just buy a car, and it was a very trying experience because you
Yes.
go online, you say, I'm going to go buy this car for this price, 0% interest. You get in there, okay? You believe in signs. You recognize the guy as a guy who once approached you in a Target, and you say, oh my God, you approached me in a Target once. You asked if I was in the market for a car. I said, no, I own my car. And you said, don't buy one. Rates are too high. Guess what? I'm here today. Kismet. I'm here for this car. Then his manager says, oh, actually, no, that car is 8% interest and $60,000. And you say, I'm not paying that for a Hyundai. Okay. And then I tell every time I go into a car dealership, this is a trick for all women, say, I'm not going to sit in your office. I'm not coming to your office. I'm going to drive a car. I'm going to leave. You can call me. You can text me. You can email me the price. We can do that. I'm not sitting in your office. Because when you sit
I'm not
in your
your
office,
secretary.
I'm
Get
not
out of
sitting
here.
in your office
when I'm
with a
sitting in
guy
office, you're going
who's
to assault me, not my husband.
Yeah.
who's just
I don't want to hear you clicking and clacking. I don't want you to
Warranty?
be like, I'm going to call my supervisor. I'm going to call my
let me just see
supervisor.
what I can do. No, I'm going to
No,
get this
I don't
right
wanna
out
see
you.
what you can do.
negotiate, ladies.
That's right.
I'm not spending 5 hours in
No.
a back room. It's just, you're either giving me the car or you're not. And these are my terms. You can send me yours. Maybe we can come to an agreement. Maybe we can't. Anyways, buy a car online is what I would say. I like that.
I went from not having one for 15 years to buying one. And it was like I was like, what a racket. Like it just say what it is. Say what it
Yeah.
costs. Like what are
what
we
are you
doing?
talking about? Yeah. What are you talking about? I was getting, he was like, since
And
when
why
are
are Hyundai's $65,000?
Exactly.
now I'm looking at everyone a little bit differently because everybody else has a Hyundai Santa Fe. That's all I wanted. It's designed for a woman, guys. I have to
I
say.
have a Kona.
this
You
is-
should get a Kona.
It was the Santa Fe for me.
I
I'm
love
telling
my
you. They had a
Hyundai
special
Kona.
place to put a bag, like in the middle.
Once
like,
they
this
give
car's
you,
designed for
once they give
women.
you all the buttons, it's like
You
I
can't
cannot
not have it.
I
Yeah.
actually didn't even like the buttons that much. What I did like was my Hyundai, and my Hyundai was in the shop for so long, and the Volvo was like the hot boyfriend.
Yeah.
It was like because I said so when she's dating sort of like the guy who wears a fedora, and then the guy
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
Thomas Everett Scott, and she's like, I know I should like Thomas Everett Scott, but I want
I know.
this guy in the fedora, and my Kona was wearing a fedora, and my
That's
That's
electric
exactly
Volvo.
what this is.
It is what it is. You just
It is
want
what
what
it
you
is.
want. You can't
Okay.
tell me
You
a
want what
Volvo
you
is
want.
better than the Hyundai. I want what I want.
No.
And I
No.
want it while I'm
No.
driving and while I'm flying.
So if you drive a Hyundai Santa Fe, congratulations on being rich. Congratulations on having it all. Congratulations on getting the terms that you wanted.
Yeah, congrats
of a
on
Hyundai
your
dealership.
warranty. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
couldn't
You
make it
sat
happen.
in the office.
You sat in the office. I wouldn't do that. Okay.
And if you have teeth
Knocking knees with the devil.
and if you have teeth that are not in your hand like mine are, congrats. Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, we are 40 minutes in. So,
okay.
gang,
So, ready to talk about Dancing with the Stars? Well, like crust,
so
the
ready.
crust
And
off my face.
Listen, I didn't really organize this conversation because I realized when I tried to organize a conversation with you guys, you thought I was
tried.
malfunctioning.
Oh yeah.
So
Kate
I-
gave us like a list of topics and we were like, what?
Kate, are you okay?
Can we just,
It was.
can't we just let it flow?
Yeah, you made me feel like I was crazy.
Maybe you
Trying
are.
to keep us organized.
No, Kate, I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm never complaining when we're spending quality time together, but please
No,
do let me
it's
know you
heaven.
have a heart out. Kate from the Beyond. We need to thank a couple of our advertisers, but also I just wanted to tell you if you're a patron, patreon.com/BeThereIn5, I'll be putting up the video of this conversation, or at least the first half of it. I told my guests I would just put the video up on Patreon, but I assure you it is worth it to see the veneers,
I really think Nora's face she always looks stunning, but I just was worried about the scarring. But I think she's okay. I think she's on the mend now. But yeah, I feel like this conversation really just comes to life in a big way if you watch it, which I wouldn't normally say about my podcast. But anyway, you guys, I, Catherine Kennedy, want to make it very clear. I have nothing against dental hygienists. I don't remember if it was a dental hygienist, an orthodontist, or whatever. All I know is that this person was positioning themselves as a jewelry heist expert, and I was impressed. I went to their profile. It was like a lot of teeth, a lot of braces. Maybe it was orthodontia. Between braces and baubles, we're mixing metals in a big way here, and I just don't see the overlap between jewelry heist expertise and dental work. I'm just saying I need some clarity for credibility's sake sometimes when you're coming in hot with a theory, and I don't know how seriously to take it. This episode is brought to you by Uncommon Goods. The holidays sneak up fast, but it's not too early to get your shopping done and actually have fun with it. Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S., many crafted by independent artists and small businesses. And because they're made in small batches, the best finds actually do sell out fast. So I'm not going to tell you twice. Get your pistachio pedestals while you can. Dudes love a pistachio pedestal. I've been telling you for years. It's this little wood tray that has a bowl at the top, like a kind of square bowl at the top for the pistachios, and then a moat around it for the shells, in a way that lets you classily serve nuts and discard their shells. That's not an eyesore, keeps the shells off your floor, boards. But it's so much more than a pistachio pedestal company. It has something for everyone, from moms and dads to kids and teens, book lovers, history buffs, diehard football fans, foodies, mixologists, avid gardeners. And the website's great because it gives you that guidance of, okay, who are you shopping for? Or what are their interests? And per the hobbies and Pinterest of it all, there's so many like fun niche things. 2 examples from the episode a couple weeks ago would be like whimsical and like miniature things. This is where I got the DIY kit to build my own book nook, which is like this little miniature world you can build and then put on a bookshelf. And it's a really fun gift to give, but also a thing to just do yourself. And also they have a Stitch a Day advent calendar. Every day until Christmas, you stitch this little like Christmas icon, and then you have this really cute embroidery creation. And what a fun way to practice. And then also have a little Christmas keepsake. If you go on the site, look up something called the Sassy Storage Canister, because I can't really explain why these are speaking to me, but they do have like 5-star reviews across the board. And it's like, yeah, I didn't know I was interested in storage containers with attitude, but here I am. I don't know. Throughout the coming months, I'll tell you all sorts of favorites I have from Uncommon Goods. But what's nice is that it gives you a lot of guidance. So shop early, have fun, and cross some names off your list today. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/BeThereIn5. That's uncommongoods.com/BeThereIn5 for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Hungry Root. In addition to the question I keep asking myself about why we don't get more behind the scenes drama from rehearsals in like the show packages like we used to back in the day, the other question that really bothers me is what's for dinner. I don't like being asked it. I don't want to ask myself. I need somebody else to think for me. And Hungry Root takes the stress out of grocery shopping by filling your cart with personalized selections that get smarter with every order. From smoothies to kid snacks to sweets to salad kits and more, there's something for every taste and nutrition goal. And what's great about Hungry Root is that it's a grocery delivery service that also comes with like snacks and grab and go things, but they're full-size groceries that come with recipes that are really simple 3-4 ingredients. So it's not like a meal kit where you'll have a tiny cup of rogue chopped onions that are going to go bad tomorrow that if you don't use in that specific recipe, it's like pointless. And that's something I really like about Hungry Root in terms of how it reduces food waste, because it gives me guidance on how to use my groceries, but I don't have to. And I can use them in other ways if I don't feel like cooking that thing that night. And whatever dietary needs you may have, as an allergy kid, I would have appreciated this. Gluten-free, dairy-free, high protein, focused on gut health, whatever else. It's not just for meals, though. They have this smart cart that figures out what you like. And I appreciate it because I'll get like a grab-and-go packet of roasted red pepper hummus and chips for like when I just need to eat something fast. Or they have these like bread and butter pickle slices I like. But also in that shipment was ground beef that I could use for tacos or to make a burger. I had a great grass-fed ribeye steak. And one of my favorite things was this microwave-ready russet potato. Anyways, I'm taking up too much time. Long story short, what a thrill it is to get a box of like different grab-and-go snacks and sweets and little things to eat when you're busy, but also full groceries and recipes you can use with those groceries. So you at least have an answer. You have an option when you're asking yourself what's for dinner. It gives me quite a bit of peace of mind. And take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/BeThereIn5 and use code BeThereIn5. That's hungryroot.com/BeThereIn5, code BeThereIn5 to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/BeThereIn5, code BeThereIn5. So we're kind of having a lighthearted discussion in this episode about Dancing with the Stars from the perspective of 3 different people with different tenures and levels of investment in the show, and just because it's fun to try to explain things to someone who's new. So if you've never watched the show before, you might still enjoy this chat about Dancing with the Stars because we're talking to Nora, who joined 3 weeks ago, and there's like a lot of fun celebrity talk involved. But beyond that, to kind of expand it to why even bringing it up now, I think it represents a bigger tension than like the show itself, and a lot of things we're seeing now where there's tension between this quest for growth and virality and discourse. But where's the line, and at what point are we like maintaining the integrity of something and focusing on quality? And like this is a show that like I genuinely think is so high quality and really has historically honored like the craft of ballroom dancing, has hired some of the most incredible talent that have done unbelievable things. I have goosebumps thinking about over the years what like moving stories this show is told, from things as simple as like celebrities on the brink of irrelevance, like finding themselves, finding their confidence in their body or in their spirit, just of like having a purpose again. And even if they're not the best dancer, just like the human interest story of watching somebody slowly but surely improved and just like put in work, and like to see such tangible results, especially at like an age, you know, or like a level of capability where they might not think they could, like that's like one of my favorite parts of it. But I equally love watching insanely talented dancers do beautiful routines. And I think there's a place for both of them, because there's judges that submit their scores that are supposed to be more about technicality, though debatably, I don't feel like they've been quite soft this year. Soft and inconsistent. There's judges' scores and in combination with like fan scores. And also, I think that like I understand people like newcomers' frustration with somebody that has dance experience, but Whitney's dance experience actually pales in comparison to some prior contestants. Like Nicole Scherzinger won the Mirror Ball 1 season, you guys. The Pussycat Doll. Have you seen the Buttons video? I would have given her the Mirror Ball the first episode and been like, go home, the rest of you. That video still haunts me for the hot girl I'll never be. Anyway, the show's about more than just who's the best dancer. And sometimes it is the best dancer, but sometimes it's Bobby Bones. You just really never know. And I don't know, there's just been so many meaningful moments over the years, from just like absolutely stunning artistic expression and choreography to like, I don't know, Amy Purdy, a double amputee, is runner-up and did some of the most breathtaking dances and told her story and moved her body in ways she never thought she was going to be able to. And like, that was such a beautiful partnership with Derek. Sharna had a partner who lost an arm in Iraq, who by the end, in their, was it their contemporary? Was it their freestyle? He held her up with one arm. You guys, he did a one-arm lift. Peta got a mirror ball with a deaf contestant named Niall, and she taught him how to dance. He could not hear the music through a system she made up of hand squeezes and taps. Like, I'll endlessly marvel at like how, you know, just the talent of some of these pros to know how to teach and to make their contestants succeed. It has so much to do with the pros. And like Daniela winning a mirror ball despite like over a foot of height difference with Iman, like her creativity, her choreo, it knows no bounds. And like I was telling my group chat today, like when some of the things I just mentioned, like people that got so far despite all odds, it's like, that's why I don't have a lot of patience for if you can't like choreograph in a way that can make a young person with every physical advantage succeed. I think you do need a bit more experience as a pro. Anyway, you guys, something that I find compelling is that Dancing with the Stars is experiencing a lot of growth amongst younger demos. Like its ratings are up 16% like year over year, which is good. But what I think is the crazier metric, there's a voting surge of 163% since last year. The audience grew somewhat modestly, but the engagement exploded disproportionately due to the involvement of more young people. And what's interesting when you look at the ratings data, you know, I can't resist some ratings chatter given my Nielsen background, but even though it's 16% growth year over year, the increase in the demo of adults 18 to 49, like most coveted advertiser demo, is 56%. Which is pretty unheard of in terms of live plus same day viewing of network TV. Capturing 18 to 49 live on network now is unheard of. Actually, Dancing with the Stars is setting records, on pace to be the first broadcast series, excluding sports, to average a same-day 1.0 rating or better amongst adults 18 to 49 in like the past 5 years. 1.0 rating basically means it captured 1% of whatever universe estimate there is of that particular demographic. So it, on average, is getting same-day viewership of 1% of adults 18 to 49. And in the ratings world, that is huge. So 1% of adults 18 to 49 is like 1.36 million people or something. But actually Dancing, I'm going to abbreviate, is currently doing like a 1.14, which is more like 1.5 million adults 18 to 49 watching. Anyway, what I also think is interesting is that the total viewership week to week is 5.64 million. So the show is still very much economically anchored by 4.14 million viewers that are what? Not 18 to 49, they're over 50. But the way this show is increasingly catering to and being reshaped by the younger, extremely online audience is almost fascinating to me. 4 out of the 5.6 million of their viewers are over 50. And they had a TikTok night. I think like the addition of TikTok night this year is so significant because they devoted an entire night to viral moments from a platform that the bulk of their audience is simply not on. Like the fever dream that was Meredith Blake dancing to Cat's Eye's gnarly ballroom style. Like, what a gift. But anyways, I think that breakout of it still being such a predominantly over 50 audience is very interesting to me and kind of reflects a broader fundamental tension. The cost of chasing growth and chasing virality, and can you chase algorithmic relevance and discourse-driven fandom without alienating or losing the legacy audience that actually pays the bills? And what does it cost the people involved? Like the pros doing 2 jobs that now it's not just about Tuesday. They used to be able to put their heads down, choreograph, rest, practice, show up again the next Tuesday. They now have to perform on the show for the traditional audience and be content creators feeding the algorithm to keep that younger audience engaged with those insane voting numbers in between episodes. And you're dancing all week and then you're tap dancing on TikTok. And that stuff takes a lot of time, even if it doesn't look like it. And even if they have help with it, they're still the ones having to be there and film it and shit. And in a minute, Caroline and I like briefly bring up that there was one season that went solely to streaming on Disney Plus, and I think it completely failed because they never released streaming numbers for it. And like all these networks and streaming sites want to do is like boast about numbers, especially if it relates to like a corporate strategic decision that actually worked. And I think if even they were able to retain anywhere close to the number of live viewers by going to streaming only, which was a crazy decision, by the way, it is one of their biggest, The Bachelor and Dancing with the Stars are 2 of ABC's biggest franchises that they need to keep going. And the level of crazy it is to take Dancing with the Stars off of live TV and put it on a streaming only platform where the bulk of their audience, 50 plus, simply is not viewing television, like, is such a crazy choice. Not only was Disney courting subscribers at that time, the finale of season 30, right before they went to streaming only, it was like, I think, a record low in terms of viewership, which is a shame because that's when Daniela and Iman won. And Daniela is perfect and I love her and I want to be her. Like some seasons I like didn't watch live that, but I've seen all the dances on YouTube, so I never know what to say when somebody asks me if I've seen it or not. But anyway, I would liken it to the level of craziness that is ABC casting Taylor Frankie Paul as the Bachelorette. Like I think in 2022 that was kind of Dancing with the Stars, like Hail Mary, to not only get subscribers over to Disney Plus and like see if they could get the older demo, but also to engage adults 18 to 49 where they are on streaming sites. And like I said, that's like a very coveted demographic amongst these networks, amongst advertisers. Why am I telling you that? Oh, to contextualize what a big deal it is, how well this show is doing this season, and how unusual it is to be performing this well amongst young demographics, live plus same day ratings wise. And Dancing with the Stars didn't capture that viewer then, but they are now. They're deliberately doing a few things right to get younger people invested. Casting social media influencers and more like digitally native celebrities. Alex Earl. We have 2 Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We have Dylan Efron, who, you know, coming off of Traitors and whatnot, is beloved in the reality TV world. We have Jordan Childs, an Olympian, which they often will have Olympians. In my bracket, I have Robert Irwin winning because America loves an Irwin, regardless of age. And I think he's going to capture the young vote and the older vote. And having so many young people that are more prolific in the content creation space, it has the pros creating more content. And I think this was largely spearheaded by like Riley Arnold, who was really pivotal, I think, to the resurgence of the show starting because she was the first season when it got off of Disney Plus exclusively. And even the showrunner of Dancing with the Stars credits her for how she brought Dancing with the Stars like into the TikTok sphere, because I think her Harry Jowsey situation, I think people that had never seen the show before that were interested in her were like, wait a second, is this a will they won't they showman situation in a show that I haven't heard of? And like it was kind of a gateway. I think it's really telling in terms of broader ABC Disney Hulu strategy that they put 2 Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in Dancing with the Stars and they cast one for The Bachelorette. So like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is the way it's intertwined with their 2 of this mega network's biggest franchises. I'm just like, Jesus, like the Beths are, look, we're so ahead of the curve. We've been talking about Mormon Wives since 2018, quite frankly. And I'm glad people are catching up, that this is interesting. But to be hinging their strategy for these franchises on these women, I think is really interesting. I mean, hinging's maybe an overstatement. But I bring up Taylor Frankie Paul as Bachelorette because if they're trying to maintain the vitality, the longevity of these 2 like cash cow of franchises in terms of ad dollars, and they kind of go in and out of relevance over time, like the Hail Mary point The Bachelor's gone to because people are just so over it is like, fine, we're going to abandon our model entirely for what we typically look for in a Bachelorette, and we're just going to lean into mess. You know, it's just like not typical for Bachelorette to get cast into this role when like the lifestyle these people are allegedly like aspirationally pining for is a person at the center of a soft swinging scandal that blew up Mormon mom talk, you know, with 2 kids with different fathers. She has a DV arrest and quite terrible family, in my opinion. And I don't know. It's like when you think about a typical Bachelorette, I wasn't envisioning somebody stuck in Utah forever existing in the periphery of the icy soulless gaze of a grown man named Dakota. I bring this up because my concern is if that's where we're headed to pander to younger audiences and to resuscitate that franchise, it makes me concerned about the ways that there will be like artistic compromises to like the tradition and integrity of Dancing with the Stars as a true like ballroom competition show that showcases artistry and that values both entertainment and education, and how like the chasing of viral moments and the making of content to produce votes like could compromise the legacy of the show that like not only do I appreciate as a longtime viewer, but I also think is a problem to abandon because the bulk of their audience are still over 50 and are more of a legacy viewer. And how do you like strike that balance? I think they're actually doing quite well so far. It's just something I'm considering, you know, because this is my job, but also because as a fan, I think I've watched these types of shifts where a fandom gets more into parasocial, vocal, active participation territory. And it becomes like very intense and complicated in ways like it never was and shouldn't necessarily be. And people are starting to kind of misunderstand what the show is, in my opinion. But I think there's like interesting things to consider with this growth in engagement and shift in audience. Because Dancing with the Stars' success historically, I think, has a lot to do with it being a proper, like many ways, ballroom competition that at least used to more so prioritize technique and taught you about different ballroom styles. And it was like this very serious niche world of unbelievable talent and artistry paired with like a mainstream variety television show style that's super accessible. And it's always really been, I think, an audience base that like passively views it. But we're moving into territory that I think could change the DNA of the show forever, where we go from passive viewership to like active fandom, which are 2 very different things. I think that like the parasocial intimacy of younger audiences now, especially like the TikTok audience, makes it really interesting to try to like have conversations about this like performance based, evaluation based, like voting based show where obviously you have to be able to like critique and talk about the good and bad of the dances. But like there's now this audience that's like expressing protective or combative emotions that are, it's like stan culture dynamics. But I think there's some of us that, you know, aren't trying to gatekeep or like seem like old, like that's not the way we do things. But I mean, truly to see comments like, I mean, you go out there, you try, like, who are we to judge? It's a show with judges holding up numbers. We're evaluating performance. Of course we can say that dance sucked, that choreo sucked, that pro looks like they were phoning it in. We're voting. Like, what are you talking about? The entire premise is watch people perform, then evaluate whether they were good. That's the show. That's the gig. That's what we're here to do. To watch Top Chef and call somebody mean for commenting that a risotto is undercooked, we're talking about skill execution. This is not personal, and the parasocial weirdness of defending people you don't know and saying that commentary about a performance-based show is like bullying. It's just so bizarre. And this is what I mean by like, we're chasing the growth, but is there something that's in doing that that's going to deteriorate what makes the show so good? Because the way fans mobilize and discuss content right now online is simply not right for the format of this show. I think there's just like a fundamental misunderstanding of what this show is. And I think that this is just what popular things are up against now. I'm interested to see if the more like vocal, active fan participation is going to net positive for the show. Like maybe we'll get like larger scale stars. Maybe, I don't know, we'll get more time slots. Or if it like, I do think there's an element that could be somewhat detrimental because the integrity of the show lies in the tradition and technique and not necessarily like the youngest, hippest parts of it. I don't know. I guess my point is to illustrate that I think Dancing with the Stars is at a major crossroads where they're seeing recently unprecedented growth amongst a core coveted demo, which is pretty incredible. And honestly, I think all content is subject to this bigger question right now of like, how do you be algorithm friendly without becoming algorithm driven and lose like the integrity and the quality of what put you on the map in the first place and sacrifice it in the name of growth? And I think doubling down on some of these things to pander to this younger audience is fascinating when you actually look at the numbers, and the lion's share of their viewers are still over 50. And the last time they took a big risk in hopes of chasing younger viewers was when they went on Disney Plus, and that absolutely bombed. Whatever they're doing now, it's yes, working. But I just wonder if they can always count on those like standard legacy people to be there. Anyways, that was probably a boring intro that didn't really add anything to the conversation, but just some of my existential thoughts. But I love the show. I'm such a fan. And this was a really fun conversation. Caroline and Nora are two of my favorite people in the world. And we had so much fun. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this conversation. Okay, guys, so Caroline and I, I was considering this for an episode concept last year, but we were like, oh, we simply can't. To come out as like loud and proud Dancing with the Stars fans. For years, This was a show for boomers, by boomers. Like when I worked at Nielsen Ratings, like Dancing with the Stars was the place you advertised to like reach a very specific demographic.
Yeah.
And to get those tubs that you can like step in and out of safely.
Life alert.
A life alert.
Special insurance. The insurance where they're like the general.
Yeah.
The general.
Insurance.
The general.
Car Shield.
Wireless.
Yes.
Cricket
Cricket Wireless. Exactly. But now it's cool.
Now it's cool.
Dentures for
Just
daughters.
go in your mouth.
Yeah. I watched like early seasons with like my parents. I watched it throughout the early 2010s. I dipped out for a while because it kind of bored me. I was interested in Charli D'Amelio when she did it in the early 2020s, kind of dabbled. They took it off Disney Plus because it was doing so badly. Then like Riley Arnold really resuscitates things on TikTok with her Will They Won't They with Harry Jowsey. That's how I got back in.
Was it doing so badly that they took it off Disney? Was that the whole reason?
People say it's so they would get like subscribers over, but like no one watched that season.
I mean, I did, but sure. But you did.
Obviously. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody else.
There were two viewers, okay? So.
Anyways, I got sucked back in I think because of Riley, and because of the Meryl Max of it all. I love a Will They Won't They partnership. And then I just like went hard. And then Caroline and I realized we both like had a fair investment and like knew a lot of lore. And it's just a really specific, deep universe you can talk about literally endlessly. And Caroline got me into Dancing with the Stars group chats. We chat about it often. We watch Marilyn Max's, rehearsal reel once a week just for some softcore. I feel like we just have bonded about like the lore of the show before it was like super popular because I just didn't have a lot of friends that watched it. Anyway, we were going to talk about it a while ago. Never did. It takes off this year. It's like literally, LOL. They were like, we got 100 million votes last night. I was like, I'm a woman in STEM, but if you do the math, if arranged from voting once to 10 times for all 10, that could mean
2 different
1 million
ways.
people.
Two different ways.
100 million people. Like,
Yeah.
the range is, unbelievable. So we really don't know how many people are contributing. And I figured we'd chat this year, and Caroline and I as more seasoned fans, and then Nora
thanks
as
for
a
pointing
newcomer
that out.
who, this is the whole format, Nora, is you're more...
Yeah.
I feel like you're fairly in the know now, but as recently as 3 weeks ago, I texted you saying, do you watch this? And you're like, no.
I've never
was like-
seen
And
it
then,
in my
but
life.
3 weeks ago, Nora and I were in Vegas, and
Yeah.
we were there on a Tuesday night, and I was like, "It's TikTok night on Dancing with
Yeah.
the Stars. You're gonna love
right.
it." We had to watch it on my computer because it's not on the television yet.
Yep.
And it was
It
I
was the
watched
Samba night.
I watched
Wasn't
a
it?
fan be born, huh?
Yeah. Wasn't it the Samba night?
It was the night
No,
where
it was-
Whitney and Mark did Mystical Shake Your Ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was,
Loved
and
it.
I was
And
like,
we were watching it over and over and over again. We were like dancing around the room, basically.
I was hooked.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
were
if I
hooked.
would
You think
have
it's
gotten
that
into
samba?
it.
You think it's those pants?
It was the Samba's the pants. It's her face choreography.
Yeah,
Like that
her
girl
face
is
card.
that girl's a star. That girl's a star.
She's a
Everyone
star.
who doesn't like her is a hater and a loser. And you heard it
But
here first. Like
it's so true.
Sorry.
But then more
sorry,
than
you just
that-
don't like a winner, babe. And I've been
When
there.
I said to Kate, I said, listen, we have a new fan on our hand. Nora, for the first 24 hours of her fandom, was very into
Yeah.
like the dancing. And I was like, it's not about the dancing. It's
Yeah.
about the pros.
Yeah.
If once you start
Yeah.
Once you start being fans of the pros, you can watch any season. Because I don't actually care who the stars are. I have a lot of opinions on the pros. I'm always happy when there's a star I like. And I think this season was like the perfect mix of like, I actually know everyone who's on the show. Like like a lot of times there's like 4
Yeah.
athletes and a Bachelor contestant that I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like the season
Yeah.
with Jimmy Allen. Who?
Who?
Who's Jimmy Allen?
I've never heard of
You
that man
know?
in my life.
Exactly. I mean, that was the season I really started, was the Amanda Klutz season. That was the season after Coach Monica from Cheer and Chriselle. And like,
Oh,
Yeah, when she
Chriselle.
built an empire based on never leaving her kiddos at home and then just up and left them at
left.
home.
and
and
it affected
everything
them
crumbled?
deeply. Yeah, exactly.
What?
And she was like, but you guys can't expect me to not do Dancing with the Stars. And I was like, I guess honestly we can't. But once I told Nora, like, actually the lore is inside of which pros were dating, which were married, who's now divorced, like
Yeah.
how old Daniela was when she met Pasha, which is concerning. You can't
know.
ignore it.
I
You can't ignore it. It's what it is.
I've just like actively scrolled past that information because I just am such
They were
a Daniela
partnered
fan.
together when they were kids.
How many years?
Like a lot. Hold on, let me check I'll
I've just-
fact check while you talk.
Okay. Yeah, I just think Daniela she's one of the greats. Her choreography is outstanding. She's so fun to watch. I love her so much. She's my favorite. She's like what got me rehooked on the show too, because she's kind of a more recent ad. I also think that like Whitney Carson gets underscored, and I think that I have a lot to say. I won't get too far into it, but Caroline, I was going to ask you if you think, because do you remember how like basically Whitney just danced around Danny Amendola last season, and it was like,
Yeah. But then
give him some steps.
But then for dedication night, he pulled it out and they were like, Danny, they did like Fix You or something, Fix You-esque from something like So You Think You Can Dance, Fix You-esque. Which, like, if
Yes.
you're going to do like a contemporary where the man is barefoot and also sort of shirtless and he's like
I don't
doing a
want
lot
that.
of like really good, it's like you're going to get a good score. A man can make
Yeah.
that look really good. And Whitney
Yeah.
and Daniela both do a lot of like the I got 5 on it Halloween dance. Amon just like used his strength and like lifted her a lot.
I
don't
was
know.
going to
Yeah,
say that I think Daniela's strength used to be like working with kind of obscure partner skill sets and like helping them shine. And Whitney was the one dancing around her less skilled partners. And now I think it's reversed, where Whitney's doing a good job featuring Robert's skill sets. And Daniela is simply dancing around Dylan in ways I find unacceptable. And he's getting way too much credit.
I completely agree, but I can't hate it. Like, no one can ever. If Daniela Kargash has no fans, I am dead.
Who's your favorite female pro all time? Daniela?
All time, honestly, for skill, Daniela. For like overall vibe, Whitney. Daniela. For like overall vibe, Whitney. Leave in me.
We're about to pull you back into
We're
convo.
literally right now, but I'm going to pee while I'm bored. Okay.
Pee, and we'll give a little.
She's
What do you think
bored.
the most? What do you think the?
Get out of
She
here.
said she's bored.
McInerny.
Did she say
She said she's bored because we're not talking about the fucking Pope.
I think, Kate, what's important to note here between the three of us, Nora is like brand new. I came in like I came in 2020. You've been there since the beginning. Like, I don't know much about Karina Smirnoff. I don't know much about Cheryl Burke other than she had the worst tan and the worst hair of all time. But I came in even when Max was gone and PETA was like there sometimes. Like,
I think
that's how new I am.
Even just to map it out, Nora, and what I think you might find interesting, there's 3 empires that run Dancing with the Stars. They're geographic. One is Utah,
get my pen.
One is New York, and one is Australia.
Okay.
Write that down. There's a quiz.
Utah has 15 mirror balls total. Australia 6.
Oh, you
New York
looked this
City
up?
4. I was crunching numbers last night to see which pipeline's the strongest. And what's really interesting, Nora, is that this is what Whitney Carson explained. Because people have so many kids in Utah, they need to be in activities, and they need to be in activities that keep them like busy, and they have to practice all the time.
Yeah.
And the ballroom dance is an appropriate style of dance if you're super conservative and religious.
Yeah.
And it's
Even though
exhausting.
the costumes aren't always. And it's exhausting. And yeah. So there's this like huge Mormon pipeline at this place called Center Stage in Orem, Utah. And it's produced like, almost all of like Riley and Lindsay Arnold and
Brandon
Whitney
Armstrong,
Carson,
Derek,
Ezra.
the Huffs,
Yeah, the Huffs, like everybody.
Mark Ballas. Yep.
Mark Ballas. Yeah, all of them. And
Do you think that's why
there's
Whitney
like,
and Mark have such good rapport because they're both Mormon?
Yes.
Okay, Mark isn't Mormon. Mark's parents are world-renowned Latin ballroom dancers that trained the Huffs, and they get like assigned different like high-level dance studios to go like kind of consult and coach. And like it just so happens everyone they've like privately coached has like made it onto the show because of the level of excellence.
I got to find these people.
And
okay.
Julianne and Derek
Shirley
Huff.
and Corky Ballas. Shirley and Corky Ballas are their names.
Julianne and Derek Huff, like their parents sent
I
them
thought we're
to
married
London
for a long time.
to train, and Julianne and Derek lived with the Ballases in London and trained for Julianne for 10 years. Like their family
Like
just
left
sent
their
them
family.
off. Yes,
Like when they were like
do this
so
with my
12.
kids.
Derek
Yeah.
and Mark are like
Ralph's 12.
literally brothers.
Okay.
Anyways, this episode is brought to you by Baked by Melissa, which is perfect for this podcast for millennials by a millennial, because I believe cupcake culture is like a big part of our lore. Somewhere in the late aughts, early 2010s, like they kind of became this symbol of whimsical, single-serving, aspirational living that took place of wedding cakes at one point until we went on to donut walls. But that's not the point here, you guys. Can I be honest with you? I don't really consider myself a person that's that into cupcakes until I was sent this box of Baked by Melissa bite-sized cupcakes that fulfilled my dreams of having a dessert in the home where I just get to try a bite of a lot of stuff. You know, when you're out to dinner with people and like dessert's fun because you order several things and get a bite of all of it? That's what getting one of these boxes of bite-sized cupcakes is like. You can try all these different flavors, and they're these little cupcakes that are the perfect ratio of cake, stuffing, icing, and topping in every single bite. Such interesting flavors and new ones introduced every month. I actually noticed they even have a showgirl-themed one, which is really cute because album feelings aside, the orange and teal aesthetic is really working for me, and they're just like the perfect thing to send to people that you're thinking of for birthdays, celebrations, whatever it may be. And there's actually a Halloween box, and the last chance to order that with standard shipping in time for Halloween is Wednesday, October 29th, just a heads up. The one I got was like their latest and greatest flavors that was so delicious. When I tell you my family tore through this box faster than a quick step on Latin night, which if you're a DWTS fan, you know that would never happen. We don't quick step on Latin night. But I need to adequately express how fast we ate this. They're made entirely by hand and they arrive in just 1 to 2 days nationwide. So your treat will arrive perfectly fresh and right on time. They have gluten-free, vegan, and no nut options. And I'm now like a cupcake person. And if you find yourself wanting to dive back into cupcake culture where we belong, have I got a deal for you? Right now, Baked by Melissa is offering our listeners 20% off your order at bakedbymelissa.com/BeThereIn5. That's bakedbymelissa.com/BeThereIn5 for 20% off your order. bakedbymelissa.com/BeThereIn5. If you haven't sent your kids off to competitive ballroom dancing yet, and you yourself still do indeed need to supervise them, have I got a solution for you? This episode is brought to you by Harbor. Harbor is a baby monitor that solves for literally all my pain points, because other baby monitors have failed me, like literally crashing or disconnecting, or the craziest to me is charging you a fortune for the device itself and then locking the features behind paywalls that you have to pay annual subscriptions for. It's like, to view the history of why your baby just screamed, pay $119. And it's like, wait, what? And I think Harbor actually delivers on what parents need most, which is security, reliability, peace of mind. We have a lot of dead zones in our house, like in terms of Wi-Fi crashing. It's a whole thing. What's so nice about Harbor is it works with or without internet. And it lets you check in from anywhere using the mobile app. But also, if you're at home, there's a dedicated 10-inch display that lets you, see what's going on clearly without tying up your phone. But even better, if you have like childcare or somebody else in the home who needs to be able to watch your kid and you don't really want them to download the app and like log into your system, having a separate LCD is really great. And it also travels really well because it works with or without internet. So you can monitor anywhere without worrying about connectivity, complicated setups. And it's perfect too for like not so tech savvy parents, grandparents. You don't need to like have them figuring out Wi-Fi. If you're taking them to somebody's house, it's like a really straightforward plug and play monitor. I really like because it doesn't disconnect in the middle of the night or block key features behind paywalls. And I have two options for being able to see what's going on in the room. And they have like smart audio filters to filter out background noise. So you're only getting notified for what matters, which is nice, especially if you live in the city like me. Restore your peace of mind with Harbor, the only baby monitor designed to never fail you. Plus, Harbor has a special deal for my listeners. Use code BeThereIn5 or go to harbor.co/BeThereIn5 for $50 off and experience the security every parent deserves. That's harbor.co/BeThereIn5. Anyways, and I just think it's like, a lot of them there's like a pipeline from So You Think You Can Dance, from Dancing with the Stars Jr. The one thing that I think is interesting is that the Aussies are much more like sexy and they're purists. They're like, and in New York, the Val and Max, there's like the classic ballroom people, and the Utah girlies they're more contemporary jazz who had
They're
to
the
learn
lyrical
ballroom
girls.
to make Dancing with the Stars work. So there used to be really
Jenna,
fun tension.
That's Whitney.
Yes.
That's Jenna. That's Whitney. That's Lindsay, who you don't know, but Lindsay's Riley's sister, so it's Riley.
Okay.
She's the one who does Day in the Life videos where she puts the camera all over her house and she goes from the cold plunge to the sauna to make her kids breakfast.
And
do you ever feel like when you're watching a Day in the Life and someone's like, good morning, you can like smell their breath? I'm like, I don't
like it.
To see your face right when you woke up. Like, don't whisper in the mic.
I don't want that. And also it's like,
morning.
I filmed a week in the life last week and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to film myself doing what I do in the morning. When I'm done, I'll tell you what I did. You know what I mean? It's like,
listen to me.
See me.
That's private.
You don't have to see me like do my Duolingo. That's private. I only do that in front of Caroline and my family. Okay, that's something that I do. Ogni mattina.
I want to greet you in Italian. Piacere, Nora. Come va?
Oh, just salve.
No,
but can I say something as a real newcomer to Dancing with the Stars? Something that I've noticed on TikTok is this tension in the comment section where, and this is anthropological, this is sociological, the way that people who have been watching as long as Kate, I'm not saying this is you, Kate, but this is people of your,
generation,
graduating class.
Yeah.
Who say, they're like, well, that's actually not what the show's about. Like, they want to define what the show is about. And I'm like, well, the show is about whatever the viewers say it's about. It's actually
like
not about people being good at dancing.
Is subjective, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, it's, I'm like, also, I don't know that
Kate's
you can
getting
say.
all scratchy.
They're very much like, it's actually Whitney, and people who hate Whitney specifically are like, the show is
Whitney
not about someone
Leavitt,
who's
not
good.
Whitney
Whitney
Carson.
Leavitt. Whitney Leavitt. Say specifically that she's not what the show is about. I'm like, well, she is what the show is about because she was cast on the show. I hate to break it to you. She is exactly what the show is about.
Well,
she's what the show is about.
I think you're right. I think there's also we remember early American Idol. Like, the whole thing was like, let's like shit all over these people who clearly can't sing and no one's ever told them they can't sing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, let's be like, you're an idiot and you'll never be a star. I think that's funny for a while. And then bullying came into the reality television with housewives being called being accused of being a bully is the number one worst thing that you can be accused of.
Systematic
on a reality
bullying,
show.
Caroline.
Systematic bullying. Kelly Lauren Ben Simone was the first person who was systematically bullied on a Bravo show. And since then, you'll see, like, it's like Dancing with the Stars they're always having people, the judges, the pros, do videos where they're like, you guys, this is a competition show. We are obviously all competing, but bullying in the comments will not be tolerated. Bullies will be blocked. And bullies are just people who are like, oh, if I want to watch like a professional dancer. And I'm like, bullies are not tolerated. And then Hilaria Baldwin being like, I was bullied off the show. And it's like,
right.
not for the reason, not for your dancing. But maybe. But like I think people are like, I think American Idol went really hard with like as Simon, Alex McCord and Simon, what's his last name? Not Simon.
Van Kempen.
Simon Van Kempen said mean tweets. And it's like people get really mad when they accuse people of bullying. And so now it's like this nice, very Disney-ified show. Also, the thing you have to know
But
about...
it got mean again this year. And Lindsay Arnold got in trouble for calling attention to such.
Who
For
got
what?
mean?
Wait, what
happened?
did she... Who that mean? Lindsay is Riley's older sister and was the first Arnold pro. The other thing,
Breathes on me in the
Nora...
morning.
Nora, the other thing you have to understand is that there are like 9 Arnold sisters, and all of them have auditioned to be on Dancing with the Stars. Like
Each
as
cuter than the
pros.
next.
Each cuter than the next. And only Lindsay and Riley have made it. Riley was on Dancing with the Stars Junior.
But Lindsay is saying that Lindsay, who's not on the show anymore, is saying that because Riley's in the show, she's saying I'm noticing bullying.
Where?
Where?
The huge popularity this year, I think, driven by so many young people, so much talent, like a really good cast, honestly, and a lot of TikTok activity from the pros, which solicits comments.
Yeah.
There's just people are coming in with hot takes who've never watched the show before. Is basically what's happening. Also, Nora, can we just talk about how you spent 15 minutes of airtime the last time we recorded talking about how illegitimate new Catholics are?
Praying with the stars. Nora's not into it.
Pray with the stars. Exactly.
Oh my God. That's 100. Wow. Kate, way to draw those parallels.
You're the
I am
gatekeeper.
I'm gatekeeping. I'm gatekeeping. And people are saying this is what it's about. And I'm saying, no, you weren't there at the beginning. You weren't there at the beginning. This is actually not what it's about.
I was at the dinner. I was at the supper. I wasn't in the picture. I was off to the side. I was at another table.
And meanwhile, you're not like a diehard devout Catholic, and I don't know shit about dance. I literally know nothing technically about dance. But I'm really glad you bring up this tension, Nora, because there's two.
Because it lets me talk about Catholicism and guess where we're going.
Two
and
competitions.
Don't talk about the Pope. No Pope. Pass right by it. No Pope.
The Pope should go on Dancing with the Stars, honestly. I think that there are two simultaneous competitions happening that we have to acknowledge. Yeah. And they go on at the same time, which is what this conflict is not new. It's just intensified because of algorithms. But there's technical excellence, which is like Whitney Levitt. She has a BYU dance degree. Alex Earle's a competitive dancer. Robert Irwin's just, America loves an Irwin.
And
he's been training. Did you know that? He's been training.
So the judges are scoring based on like technique and frame and footwork, whatever. The second competition going on at the same time, what makes this confusing is the journey and the transformation. And this is where the fandom, the Richter scale lands. Andy Richter Nation is like, who makes us feel something? Who's working their ass off? Who has 2 left feet, but they're making improvements? Like, whose career's on the brink of irrelevance, but they're showing so much heart and soul, and this is bringing them back to life. And it's not about the best dancer, but it's about improvement week over week and trying something that you never thought you could do and just watching somebody like completely transform before your eyes. And it's really a beautiful journey. And sometimes those people have won historically, they don't anymore. But the second type of contestant is what drives votes, which is what makes the competition really hard. What they used to do is show these long packages that would go through like the tension and romance and like conflict between the partners and their
the pros being
celebrities.
Like, why can't you turn? We've been doing this for weeks.
Yeah.
Why can't you turn? And they'd be like crying. And they'd be like, Max is just like really mean to
even
me.
the best ones.
It was wild.
Yeah, I've seen clips
but
of
also,
that, and I'm like, we don't see any practice
but again,
footage
think about it
at all.
But think about it. What has replaced that is like TikToks. So now like we are watching Dancing with the Stars content all week, and then we watch the show. Whereas before social media, you just got to know them via the show, and now they don't have to do that much anymore.
Right.
The other thing. No, go ahead, Kate.
The best way I can explain it, Nora, is that you, with fresh eyes, not gatekeeping, are watching for who should win. I'm watching for who could win.
That was.
But now it turns out that all the comments that are annoying Nora are actually left by Kate's alt accounts.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
The other thing too that is happening is what you see play out in the morality like chorus of what happens when everyone gets a voice in a platform when there's a television show on, which is what happens on Bravo all the time. When like a housewife says something controversial and they're like, she shouldn't be on TV anymore. And it's like, what kind of TV do you want to watch then? Like, you don't want villains. You don't want like these racists. Like, I want Ramona to be like horror. Like, I've said this before.
Yeah.
Your show. I want Ramona to yell at like an unsuspecting staff member. That's good TV.
Yes.
And like, it's entertaining. Like, I don't agree with her, but I'm not voting for Ramona in like a general election. And I think all of these people who are like, I don't want to see a professional dancer. It's like, I also don't think you want to watch 2 hours of people with Andy Richter's dancing.
No, of course not.
Acumen.
We need balance.
You know what I mean? You need balance. So I think it's actually perfect. I think they found the correct cocktail this year, which is like, don't kick Andy off right away. And whether that's producer led or like truly votes led, it's certainly not score led, is a good idea because it actually gives everybody what they're looking for. I'm watching 2 hours of Wicked Night on Dancing with the Stars because I actually do want to see people who like are talented dance. I don't want to see like, if I watched a million versions of the Scott Hoying and Andy Richter dances, I would have been asleep. I would have been like, this is boring.
Yeah.
None of them are that good. But give me one or two of them that are like fun to watch, but also like, yeah, you're not a good dancer. And then you have a show. And then you have a show that gets 100 million votes.
I think that like, it's just a strong cast. Usually there's like an obvious contender or two, but there's like 4.
The's 4. Like the final 4 will. Okay.
I got blinders. It's Whitney all the way for me.
Robert, Whitney, Alex, Jordan.
So for me, it's Robert, Whitney, Alex, and then the wild card contender is Dylan. I do not think they're going to send Dylan home. Or wild card contender Elaine, and they'll keep a woman of a certain age.
I think I switched my bracket at the last minute and put Elaine in the top 4, because that she has the perfect balance of could and should.
Yes, definitely. She's good enough to go all the way.
Last night she did spend 5 minutes
getting up in the air and then getting down.
I believe in the Paris heist because I didn't notice that she left her dance for 4 minutes to go up in the scaffolding in the air.
That was my favorite of all of this is that Molly doesn't know shit about Wicked. And it was like, why is she in the sky? Why is she up there?
Oh, see, I didn't pick up on that. Meanwhile, I'm like, well, see, change the tempo of Popular, which is interesting because literally my comment, I'm going to get kicked out of that text any day now. I'm watching 12 Minutes Time Shifted.
No, this is the way that Kate podcasts, because all of you know this since you listen to this podcast, is also the way that she is in a group chat where every other person in the group chat is like, I hate this. I love this. Oh my God, I love this. And then Kate comes in with like 4 paragraphs and is like, it's really interesting that they changed it to 6/8 time. And I think that really lends itself well to the quick step. And you want to know that historically, Val has never really done a quick step like that. So watching him do it with Alex is really interesting. And it leads you to think that, and everyone's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm always like, I did not do the reading.
I know, but I love it.
The reading.
Everyone, I read it. And also Kate, for some reason, was like a half hour behind us. So she was commenting on dances of yore. Yeah, exactly.
I was 2 hours behind because I was at my mother-in-law's little birthday celebration and I got to my phone. I do not leave texts unread. I had 488 unread text messages.
Yeah.
From this chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
no one else texted me the whole night.
Can I also say, Nora, I've never in my life seen somebody come in so hot to a group text who's new to the material.
Same.
Sorry.
You were like,
it's confident.
Call your legislators. This is elder abuse. Fuck this noise. Day one. And I was like, what?
Day one, you were. I was voting. I don't really usually vote because I don't want to be part of the. I don't want to be part of the democratic process.
Immediately registered to vote on Dancing with the Stars.
voted for Andy because of how much Nora hated him. I was like, I got to give him something. Okay, do we want to talk about candlesticks?
It's the guy that performed the Disney opener?
Candlesticks eclipses y'all's involvement in the chat, I think. But when Allison Hannigan was on the show and she made it to the finale, that was the year they had 5 people in the finale. And it's like, please just don't do that.
Was that Ariana?
Jason Mraz. Was it Charity or Charity?
No, I think you're mixing seasons.
No, it was Artem.
Season?
No. 2 seasons ago. It was Jason Mraz. It was
Ariana wasn't in that, right?
Yeah, they did. They came down on disco balls. Jason was the only boy. Daniela was pregnant with Nikita. Don't tell me I'm messing up the season.
Wait.
Hold on.
Okay, keep going.
Hold on. I'll Google it. I'm gonna Google it right now. Hold on.
Because that was 2 seasons ago. It wasn't Joey. Oh no.
Yeah.
Sochi, Jason, Ariana, Charity, Allison Hannigan.
Just say it. I was right. They all came down on the disco balls. Allison Hannigan was there for whatever reason, because Allison Hannigan was the Andy Richter of that season, except Andy Richter is in a league of his own this season. Allison Hannigan is actually the Danielle. And during Disney night, I know. During Disney night, Allison Hannigan in her season did Be Our Guest and was dressed up as a candlestick. And Christina, Molly, and I just started calling her candlesticks. And at the beginning of the season, the 3 of us were like, who in this season is going to have candlesticks energy? And immediately, Danielle Fishel, candlesticks energy. Just like trying really hard, but also like I'm not really connecting to her story, and I don't like watching you dance. Andy Richter, I love watching him dance. I'm connecting to his story. He's worse than Danielle, but Danielle's not doing anything for me, and therefore she's candlesticks. And every season us does a candlestick. And Allison was partnered with Sasha, and he gives major candlesticks energy. Pasha gives half a candlestick energy, but it's all candlesticks. And so every season has to have...
It's the candlesticks scale.
It's the candlestick scale. It's the Stichter scale.
Yeah.
It's the Stichter scale. And
are you full candelabra, or are you
full candelabra? You're just one taper. And Danielle, we didn't know who was going to be candlesticks energy, and everyone was like, and in the beginning we were like, oh, Andy's obviously going to be candlesticks, but it was very clear that Danielle was candlesticks, and last night was even more candlesticks. Halloween will seal the deal for sure.
This whole time you guys were really fixated on that guy who played candlesticks on the Disney opener.
No, that's his culture. That's plays Lumi. That's his full-time job. But do you know what I mean by that? It's like
I 100% know what you mean. It's like you're here to capture and charm a nation, but it's not landing. Something
you're not doing it through your dance or your personality.
Dark to me too.
I said she had dark energy. She has dark energy. She did elder abuse, and it's just like
her
sort of
husband,
a strange
the shrimp scandal.
I don't know that one. You're gonna have to tell me right now.
Wait, this episode is brought to you by Ritual. You know, I think we all do what we can to try and be healthy. But even if I eat the salads and I drink the smoothies and whatever else, I just don't really ever know if I'm getting the right comprehensive nutrients. And there's always like a new trendy one that I don't know if I need or not. And this is why I just trust Ritual, because it's an obsessively researched multivitamin which satisfies obsessive researchers like myself, because their essential multis have the nutrients most of us don't get enough of from food, and all in their clean, absorbable forms. No shady additives or ingredients that can do more harm to your body than good. And they're essential for women 18 plus. Multi contains 9 key nutrients in 2 delayed release capsules designed for optimal absorption per day. The best part for me is I get very sick when I take supplements in the morning. They are so gentle on the stomach. They have like this minty aftertaste. That's hard to explain, but it makes taking your multis like genuinely enjoyable. When I was pregnant and nauseous, I could stomach their prenatal, which was really helpful. And what I appreciate about Ritual is this is an unregulated category, and they go out of their way to conduct clinical trials with this multivitamin. They conducted a university-led clinical trial for their essential for women 18 plus multivitamin to assess its efficacy, and the results were that it increased vitamin D levels by 43%, omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks, for example. They're made traceable with a transparent supply chain. You can look up where everything is sourced and what your multivitamins contain, which I think is really important in this category. And instead of striving for perfect health, aim for supporting foundational health. Get 25% off your first month only at ritual.com/BeThereIn5. Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 plus to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/BeThereIn5 for 25% off.
I don't know it either.
Guys, hold on.
I'm gonna.
Okay. Well, talk amongst yourselves.
I also think you should explain what you mean by elder abuse with Danielle for people who don't know, because I know what you mean, but
yeah, this was really Nora's platform.
Yeah, exactly.
This
I'll
is
be
my
right back. You guys
platform.
keep talking.
Okay,
I'll be
like
back in
I
one sec.
understand what makes good TV. I understand why, as a contestant, you need to juice whatever you can out of the audience, curry favor in any way you can for dedication night. Okay? And we saw a lot of pandering from, I would say, pretty much every contestant. There was a certain level of pandering. I would say high on the scale to me was Dylan Efron, who brings out his little sister who's 5 years old, also could be his daughter, but no, that's his sister, and that's okay. It's not his fault that his dad is a dirty dog. You know, a lot of second families out there. That's okay. He brings out his little sister. He holds her like a princess, like dances to her. It's like very like you are currying a certain kind of vote with that, and I respect it. Okay. Robert Irwin bringing out his mom because he respects her so much after his dad died. I was bawling. Ralph's bawling because I didn't realize he was, Robert Irwin was Ralph's age. Their dads died at the same age, right? Like, so everybody has to do something to connect with the audience, kind of like say who they are. Danielle Fishel, best known for playing Topanga, also known as the girl next door, everybody's dream girl, right? It was Topanga from Boy Meets World. If you didn't want to be with her, you wanted to be her, okay? Like, look at this hair. I could never, Kate. Look at this is the amount of hair she has and maybe like just her bangs like alone, right?
And she was crimping.
And she was crimping,
texture.
right? It's just like the hair alone. Danielle Fishel is out here saying, remember me from Boy Meets World? And her story has not progressed at all, right? Dylan Efron, you don't know who he is except for the last name. You say, might be related to Zac Efron. He said, that's my biggest trauma, right? I'm Zac Efron's brother. I got to bear that cross.
Where is Zac Efron?
And I'm so-and-so's big brother. Could be her dad, but no, I'm the big brother. Like, Alex Earl, like she has like a traumatic backstory. Danielle Fishel reveals, brings nothing of herself to these dances other than
she bring a 100-year-old man.
Other than she says, how I can connect with audiences. Two things she does that I find just like distasteful. One, she's like, I know Sabrina Carpenter. I'm gonna call her the first episode. I'm gonna FaceTime Sabrina Carpenter. I was like, oh, poor Sabrina. She's got to be under contract.
She did.
She came on, she was like, well, congratulations. She sent her a video message and was like, congratulations, and like, okay, that's fine, right? You whatever. Who knows what I would do on Dancing with the Stars? We're going to find out in 2026, and that is my announcement. But Danielle Fishel, for her dedication night, brings out, oh my God, the McInernies are going to be out. Okay. I'm going to say, okay. She brings out Mr. Feeney. Who is he? We don't know because he played one character on TV. He played a grumpy old teacher on Boy Meets World.
So grumpy. He was nice.
He was a little grumpy. He was
British.
He was a stern older man. Gay played a stern.
He was their next door neighbor.
Was he British?
Yeah,
he was our neighbor too. Look, I wasn't allowed to watch these shows, so I'm piecing it together from like,
He might have just been intellectual and not British.
I don't think he was British. I think he simply had blazers and a library.
In the finale, the final words of the last episode of Boy Meets World were "class dismissed."
Class dismissed. Yeah. So it's like it's a dedication to him, but there's no real relationship to him. Nothing that would say just like, oh, he was important to me in my life. He's involved in the dance in that
a desk.
They leaned him against a desk,
and he
that
looked
was supposed to be
confused.
He looked
it was
he
hard.
looked
He's 95.
disoriented. He's 95. He's 95, and then she's dressed like she's in high school doing like a hand job with a guy who's sort of dressed like the guy who played opposite her in Boy Meets World. And I was just like, that's all you got? It's like you dragged this man.
Like you have a family. Like you have a family.
There's got to be something else to you. There's got to be something else other than like
guys,
Mr.
And that's what makes a candlestick.
Segue. I love a natural segue.
Yeah.
Because you know what she didn't want to draw attention to, you guys?
What?
With her family.
My family.
This was one of my favorite pandemic online moments of togetherness. March 22nd, 2021. Jensen Karp, Danielle Fishel's husband, tweeted a photo of what appeared to be shrimp tails he found in a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. With the caption, "Why are there shrimp tails in my cereal? This is not a bit." Do you guys remember this?
I remember this. That was him.
It's vaguely ringing a bell for me.
So he finds more stuff in the cereal, pieces with black marks baked into them, and what appeared to be like string or dental floss. Like there was a lot of weird shit in this bag. People get excited on Twitter because they're like, wait a second. We had a lot of time on our hands. And people were like, a man named Karp married a woman named Fishel. and found shrimp tails and a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And
You can't make it up.
The cereal was purchased from the Costco on Topanga Canyon Boulevard, and his wife played Topanga in Boy Meets World. Meanwhile, Karp was like a frequent guest on this Pistol Shrimp podcast. People convinced themselves that he was like making up this elaborate lie. There was like a conspiracy about these shrimp tails. It was so weird.
Yeah.
General Mills initially responded saying, it's just an accumulation of cinnamon sugar that sometimes occurs when ingredients aren't thoroughly blended. Like there's no possibility there's shrimp in the cereal. Anyways, this all goes viral. People are like, I think he's lying. There's a lot of speculation going on. After a story goes viral, all these women come forward with allegations of emotional abuse against her husband, what's-his-face, Karp, that he was like this manipulative, gaslighting, narcissistic ex-boyfriend. Who said like awful things. He like, I don't know, was accused of like stealing, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, long story short, his last tweet about the incident was March 24th, 2021. And granted, this started March 22nd, 2021.
We had a lot of time.
Saying, and it says he's sending the shrimp tails to General Mills for DNA testing, and no results were ever publicly shared. He went completely silent on Twitter after the abuse allegations, and the story ended on a massive cliffhanger. And to this day, people walk up to Topanga asking her or him about the shrimp results. They're in his mentions every day. Like, it's one of the most fever dream, like, delirious, like, pandemic
Mandela
things. Because it
effect.
was like, and he just, like, disappeared. And he's just
So
like
it's
this
just like a
shrimp
lot of
tails guy.
unanswered. It's like a mystery.
Show us the files. Show us the tests. So show us the
Yeah.
DNA tests of the cereal. Like, what do you have to hide? Unfortunately, that story took a turn and thrust them into the public. And I don't think she wants to draw attention to, like, her husband, I don't think is ever there. Like,
For sure.
does she have kids? I don't know.
I don't know. Does she have kids, Nora? Do you know?
Exactly. We don't know anything
She's-
about her life.
She has great cheekbones.
I mean, yeah, she's
I know.
gorgeous.
Now I'm deep in this shrimp tail story. Wow.
You know what's so interesting about collective viral moments on the internet is that explaining them retroactively, you're like, this isn't interesting.
Yeah.
But at the
I
time,
mean-
it was like, the tests, the DNA
Can I
tests.
read you some headlines
Please.
About
From-
shrimp tails.
from Vox?
Candle shrimps? Okay.
A guy maybe found shrimp in his cereal. Then it got dark.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
Okay.
kind of what it was.
That's tough stuff.
The curious case of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch box. Could shrimp actually get into cereal? Shrimp tail or tall tail Cinnamon Toast Crunch caper sparked suspicion. What the hell
I'm
happened?
happy not to be in
Shrimp
media
tails
anymore.
and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, yeah. It was honestly a terrible time to be alive. Caroline, last night, did you think the attempts from Julianne to use Aussie and vernacular were funny? She was
I
like,
didn't even notice she was doing it.
Congratulations on that. Like, she kept saying, like, it was so, I was like, she said, and then she said after, what's her name? Not Meredith Blake, what, Elaine's dance. She was like, everyone is holding space for you.
Listen, Julianne, I came into Dancing with the Stars during the Tyra years. Like, I was,
Wow, yeah.
My introduction was when Tyra Banks was the host, and Tyra, like, would lose her mind every episode, Nora, because if you notice, and now you'll always notice it, Alfonso, like, keeps the judges on the timer. Like,
Yeah,
if one
yeah.
judge, and he'll be like, great, Carrie Ann. Okay, next, Derek. Like, and he,
Yep.
but Tyra, like, was never able to manage that correctly. So Tyra would be like, Derek, you're too long. We're losing time. Derek, you're talking too much. We're losing our time. And it was, and then,
chaotic.
or she wouldn't stop them. And then at the end of the show would, like, cut out before, like, we could, like, see who won because Tyra, like, let the judge. Anyway, so I appreciate the vibe that Julianne brings, but there is a particular Julianne Hough school of interviewing that I cannot get behind. And I do think that that's what we're missing. I understand why we're not seeing, it's no longer a 2-day-a-week show, which it was, 2 nights a week.
Yeah.
Nights a week?
When it used to be
It used
2
to be
nights a week.
Nora. That's why we got the big
2 nights of
expanded packages,
competition?
the backstories.
Yeah.
It was one night of dances, one night of eliminations, right? And like troop dances.
Oh,
There would be like
okay.
performances and
Okay.
there would be games where it's like you had teams and there'd be like shticks and like they do a little
Okay.
bit of that now, but they'd be like it's dance off night but Julianne, you get like 2 seconds with these cast members and Julianne's like, wow, do you love Wicked?
I know.
You guys were so mad about that.
Yeah, it's Wicked night and everyone's like, it's Wicked night. And then they're like, yeah, it's Wicked night. And they're like, I love Wicked. I love Wicked too. All right. Okay.
Okay.
What you were missing is she was saying, isn't it thrillifying to be here at Wicked Night? And I was like, stop speaking in Aussian.
She looked washed out in that dress last night, too.
There was a lot of, the fashion choices were interesting last night. But also, so you were never there for Bergeron as host?
Nope. And I thought Derek and Julianne were married until a few years ago.
I thought that until just before the show began.
Yeah.
So just before I started watching the show. I thought they were married. Then I thought they got divorced and married other people. They're siblings.
They are siblings.
Are they twins?
And Derek has the most mirror balls. He was a pro for a long time. He has 6.
Derek was a pro. And he looked like a baby. Derek's got some nice filler work done. He did not go to Groupon. He looks pretty good. Well, and he likes a brooch.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
The other thing about Julianne, is that Julianne will constantly say things like, when we get back, a big surprise. And the big surprise is just her dancing.
I know.
She's like, you guys have something special when we come back. Week. And then no, Julianne, I don't want to see it.
Every time Derek is on the screen, Q goes, why is he dressed like a toy soldier? Because he is always wearing like a little jacket and very high pants.
Like a toy soldier. I'm sending a picture of this to them.
Kind of like how Robert can't why do you have to wear safari shirts in civilian territory?
Born to be wild.
He stays ready. He stays ready to defend nature whenever the opportunity arises.
Also, I think really cute lore. Marilyn Max is the best sexual tension lore, but I also think the story of Britt and her husband, who is deaf, he starred in Coda, that movie. And what's his name?
Daniel Durant.
Britt and Daniel were assigned each other as partners. Britt's the
and
pro.
They fell in love.
And you slowly watch them fall in love over the season, but never actually get together. She learns sign language from him. I have goosebumps.
They used to have a translator in the room with them.
They had a translator in the room.
And because
she taught him fully in sign language.
You should watch the dance where they do Depeche Mode.
What season is this?
It's it's season 31, I think. Daniel Durant. It still might be on Disney Plus. They do a dance in silence for 3 counts of 8, and what they do on the live show is if you were in the room, they stopped playing the music. If you were watching on TV, they cut the audio completely, so you were just watching a fully silent feed, and that was supposed to be this is Daniel's experience learning how to dance in silence. It was pretty amazing. That was one of my favorite seasons.
It was really special.
He made it till the last. He didn't get it to the finale. I think he came in 4th. No, he came in 5th. I don't know.
That's a great example of a human interest story that I think anchors the heart and soul of the show.
Absolutely.
Or Sharna back in the day had a partner, Noah, who lost his arm in Iraq, and he was doing one-armed lifts. It was wild. There's a lot of interesting
Selma
people
Hayek.
over time.
Not Selma Hayek. Selma Blair. Blair has MS, and Sasha. It was with the cane and the dance and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some really heartwarming moments that can occur.
It's why
if you want to
Hilaria Baldwin doesn't work.
Yeah. If you want to sob your eyes out, Caroline, do you think if you didn't understand the importance of Len, that Moon River would get to you?
No, Nora knows grief. She could.
It's just
I can barely listen to the song Moon River. God,
they do.
Yeah, it's
Derek or I think Val and Jenna choreographed.
And Jenna. Mm-hmm.
Could we do? I don't know, Kate. It's your show. Could we give Nora that link?
Nora's so bored.
And
I'm literally
could
taking
we
notes.
watch her watch it and talk about it?
Moon River.
Yeah, because
see,
his example of a classic.
He died.
Yeah, but that's an example of a classic troupe. Pro dance. All the olds come back. Christine and I saw Louis Van Amstel at the Dawson's Creek reunion, making it about himself.
Okay.
I also think, too, it's the intersection of people who dated, siblings, married is so interesting, but it's it's not interesting to talk it through because if you don't know who these people are, it's meaningless. Because I was going to explain that. You see, Derek's wife, her name is Haley, and she very movingly learned sign language for her speech at Britt and Daniel's wedding. Haley, who's married to Derek, used to date Alan. And Carrie Ann, she was with Artem, right?
Yes. And you don't know Artem because Artem got arrested on a domestic violence accusation. last season.
with his partner who he married, one of the Bella twins.
One of the Bella twins.
When the Bella twins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucked up.
Wow.
And Emma, who is Andy Richter's partner, used to be married to Sasha, who
Half
you
candlestick.
saw half a candlestick. And he proposed to her on an episode of Dancing with the Stars. And she looked kind of like she had a gun to her head. Like, what are you going to do? Say no? And then they got divorced, and now Emma's with Alan, who's partnered with Elaine.
And they launched their relationship on stage, too, on tour. And then Sasha was previously dated Sharna Burgess, who is a former pro who's now married to her Dancing with the Stars partner, Brian Austin Green, who used to be married to Megan Fox.
That's why she's grateful for Sharna.
That's why she's grateful for Sharna. No, it's all making sense. Okay.
And Jenna and Val are married. You don't know Jenna that well because she got kicked off the first. She and Britt left the first episode of the season. They both got dud partners.
Jenna was the first to do a woman-on-woman season. That's important.
Jenna was with JoJo Siwa. And
but
they
she's
didn't
not
win
gay
that
anymore,
year.
right?
That was the year straight JoJo Siwa. That was the year that everyone was mad because JoJo Siwa was the first person who was like famous for being a dancer on Dancing with the Stars. And then she didn't even win. Iman Shumpert won with Daniela. And Jenna and Val have this very sexy dance back before Jenna got buccal fat surgery. And you can't even recognize her.
Is that why she looks different? I thought maybe she just, matured.
Maybe, but now she has a very sunken face. I don't know. I think it was buccal fat. Val's brother is Max, and they were like the two Ukrainian like hotties, and they kind of are really sort of
the bad boys of the ballroom.
The bad boys of the ballroom. And the Mormons are a little scared of them. And every time Mark Ballas is on a season, Val is sort of a shrinking violet because Val's used to be being the number one boy in the group, the number one guy in the group. And when Mark Ballas competes, Mark's clearly like head and shoulders above Val's choreography. And Val doesn't try when he gets a partner that he doesn't think can win. He only tries when he gets a partner who he thinks can win.
And Max he was engaged to Karina Smirnoff at one point. He dated one of his contestants, Willa Ford of I Want to Be Bad fame.
Mm-hmm.
I Want to Be Bad Boy of the Ballroom.
And then ended up with Peta Murgatroyd, who I didn't even think was a real name.
And then he is now married to Peta, another pro. Peta Murgatroyd. She's one of the Aussies.
And she has a self-tanning business, and it's a really good self-tanner, according to Kate. The other thing you also have to know is Max and the show experienced major fame in like a first generation of like show glow up when like millennials kind of started watching it. It was like around 2015. It was after the Sochi Olympics. And Meryl of the figure skating team was paired with Max, and they had sexual tension and chemistry off the charts. You can watch a 10-minute compilation of all of their rehearsals, and then it ends in the freestyle to Latch, where it is so hot, it's porn. That's what Kate meant when like sometimes we just go full softcore and watch Meryl and Max. But then
I thought you guys watched it together in Vegas. I was thinking Nora was familiar with Meryl and Max.
We did, but I don't know that she was really feeling it.
It didn't. I'd already seen Whitney's Samba. Like nothing's gonna.
Yeah, she was too in the moment. But
that's where I go.
That showmance launched Val to try it himself the next year. And he basically imitated what his brother had done with Meryl, with his partner, Janelle Parrish, who's Mona on Pretty Little Liars. And Janelle, like, according to lore, Janelle wasn't, like, in on the, like, performative aspect of this and, like, really thought that he wasn't, like, just putting it on for the cameras. And it made it a little sad to watch.
Oh, because
that would happen. He had a rumored romance with Janelle, which never happened, and Ginger Z, which I don't think happened.
Absolutely not.
And then
I think if you were smart as a pro, you would want everybody to think that you were falling in love with your partner.
Yes, but you also have to have a mix of, like, you do have to make the people think it's real. Brooks Nader last season and her partner Gleb, and Gleb was with Hilaria. They were like, I mean, they went too hard. It was like disgusting. And they were both pretending.
It was so
gross.
Forced.
It was so forced and so boring. But Max and Meryl, he would always, and I think Max is both a really good actor and also just very, very charming, and also probably was moderately attracted to his partner. And it like just made for the best chemistry. Like he would do all these things where he'd be like, Meryl, when are you going to marry me? When are you going to like,
he wanted to have babies named
Boris.
Boris.
Was like, Boris and Oleg. And Yeah, he'd be like,
He
Meryl,
watches too much.
after this. And then he would have this deadpan expression where the
Yeah.
producers were like, what do you want to do? Like, what are you going to do? Like, what's going to happen with your friendship when the show is over? And the two of them would just like touch each other and be like, I think we'll always be close. I think we'll always.
Yeah,
And I'd be like,
she'd pet him. She'd hold his hand. He was like such a tough guy, and she softened him. He had been
She
on
would
for
talk him
18
down.
seasons, never won a mirror ball.
and they won.
He gets this incredible dancer, and you can tell like he just respects her so much as a dancer, which I think is a big part
and
of
an
the attraction.
athlete. Yep.
And in a sea of stiff as a board partners,
Light as
she's
a feather.
literally light as a feather.
Yeah. What I haven't
I love that
loved
you knew where I was
this
going with
season
that. Of
as a
course.
brand new viewer is the other week where they're asking you to vote, right? They're getting you all riled up, and then they don't send anyone
They're
home.
getting you all riled up. I know,
They're
but
getting you
that
all-
it's
I don't like that.
always like that.
I don't like that. I
Yeah.
don't like that. I want someone going home every week. And I proposed.
You want to you said what'd you say last night? A direct
Last night I
quote
said I
about
want
blood?
a bloodbath. I want.
Yes,
I
yes.
think this
She
is
said, send them all home.
She
And
didn't
this
even
is what-
watch.
I didn't even watch. I was at a birthday party. Here's what I would say: if they want to spice up production, they should have a button they push every once in a while. An alarm goes off. It says bloodbath. Blood rains from the sky.
Carrie.
Like everybody in the entire
Yeah.
the audience is covered in fake blood. Everybody, there's blood everywhere.
they get gacked. They get slimed, whatever it's called.
Yeah, but it's just everywhere. It's like, oh God, what's happening? And then they say, woo, 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 woo. They bring out stretchers. They take everybody off, and they say, next week we'll tell you who survived.
And
Okay.
there needs to be a tagline like "You are the weakest link. Goodbye." Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's bloodbath, and everyone's like, oh no, and it's like it's chaos.
You've
and then
taken
the
your
camera-
final steps.
The camera comes back in focus.
taking-
Everyone's on a gurney. They're being
Yeah.
carried out,
I would think
and they
that's
say,
fun.
we'll see. Yeah, they would say, we'll
I
see.
would
We're
think
in it.
that's fun.
The
Yeah.
problem with Dancing with the Stars last season, Nora, you would have hated it. It was very difficult to watch because
Yeah.
on Tuesday nights is when they do presidential debates. And they would, there were multiple weeks last year where there was no show. And so they'd have to double up eliminations. And then they always do one where dedication night or like most memorable is like no one goes home because they're like doing the heartfelt stuff. But I'm surprised they didn't do
Okay.
a double elimination this year.
They should have.
At some point, there's too
Some
many.
of them weren't good, and we could have just said like that was really beautiful. I hope that you like enjoyed that experience, but like you got to go. We all.
would
I
you
was,
have said? Okay,
I was like,
so-
last night there were 10 couples. I'm like, how are we this far and
How?
there's 10 couples left?
Are there still 10 people? I can't care about 10 people. There's like 4 I can care about max. You know?
Scott and Riley went home last night. If there had been a double elimination, who would you have wanted to see sent home?
Danielle.
Danielle. She's a dud to me. She's bringing
I-
nothing.
She brings nothing. She's so
But-
not memorable.
I didn't think Andy was going to go. And the thing is, everyone's like, he's an old man. Take pity on him. He's 4 years older than Elaine, who literally got
Yeah.
like dropped on her neck last night and like spun around.
Yeah.
Like who's doing the most. And I do think like at the
He's not
beginning, Nora,
old.
I was really trying to vouch for an Andy's position. But now I do think that we need to
It's
make
time.
some decisions as a nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
I mean,
I think
if
he's
he
had a good
gets-
time.
If he can't get 1-8 next week, it's over for him. They
I'm sorry,
had
how
to
is he
give
getting
him
an 8?
7. Well, they had to give him 7s this week because they can't just keep giving him 6s.
You know what's
You
crazy?
know
guys? In
there's
the
a
early
scoring-
seasons, they regularly
They give
gave
it
out
2.
2s and 3s.
Yeah.
I was rewatching a clip last night. That wasn't that. That was like in the late 2010s. Carrie Ann and Bruno give 10s. Len gives the same performance as 7. Like it just was. That was
Yeah.
what was so interesting. It was like you had judges that were looking for different things, and now it's all about the storytelling and the feeling. And that this is why Kim Johnson was so good last week. She was like, "Put your hand like this on his
With a
shoulder."
pen.
Yeah, like it,
This, like
and,
this.
and I was like, that was educational for me. That was constructive feedback to technique. Yes.
I walked
and
around
I've
my
been
house
thinking
going
about
like this for hours.
Yeah. And Nora, just so to make sure you know, Kim judged last week, the blonde woman in the white sweetheart
Mhm.
neckline dress.
Guess who she's
is
married to?
married. Guess who she's married to? Who? Yeah.
Guess who she's married.
Out of
Guess
anyone in the
who
universe.
She married her
Her
partner.
last name's Herjavec. Do you know who that is?
Shark Tank.
I don't know if I would. Shark Tank.
What?
She-
Everyone's a
she-
shark.
So Robert Herjavec is one of the originals with Damon and Mark Cuban.
He's small.
He sits on the end. He's small, kind of elfish.
Yeah, with like he's got like that Reagan hair.
Yeah.
A side part. A man with a side part. I love that. I love
Kim. Listen, Kim
that haircut.
Won.
Yeah.
Kim gets paired with this like billionaire who is
good for
smitten
her.
with. That's a fun season too to watch. He is so smitten with her, and they don't get together during the season. They date, marry, have twins later. She's now living with this billionaire, the part-time in Australia. Sometimes he posts photos of funny bugs he sees down in Oz. They are just a cute couple, and I want her to replace Carrie Ann, but she doesn't need the money.
Yeah,
maybe she wants,
to
to get back in the swing of things. But
they wanted Derek to replace Len. So there were a couple of seasons where they knew Len was gearing up to retire, where they had 4 judges. It was Carrie Ann, Len, Derek, and Bruno. And they were trying to get the audience ready for a Derek that was going to be as harsh of a critic as Len is. And there would always be, you'll hear people go, Len would have loved that dance. And that's on the most classic ballroom dances. When Len hates a dance, Len would have hated. Len hates contemporary. It's hard for Len to like contemporary. Len is dead, by the way. Len died the year after he. And Bruno cries. Oh my God! In the spotlight on the judging chair, and he goes, "All good things must come to an end."
Oh, Caroline!
I know.
Class dismissed.
Class dismissed. But Derek now gives. He's like, man. That's an A.
Yeah.
And it's like, Derek,
all
stop.
I have to say is, cry, Carrie.
Yeah. And then, but also, Derek loves the Irwins. Like, Derek favors
Derek won a
the
mirror
Irwins.
with Robert's sister, Bindi. That's
Bindi.
important.
Oh,
Context.
okay. That, yeah. Yeah, so he's biased. That's okay. But yeah, I saw some old clips of people getting 2s and people getting 10s. And that makes it a little bit more exciting because when everybody scores within like 2 points of each other, it kind of makes all scores feel meaningless, you know?
Well,
yes.
You know that there's a score schedule. That's why the first night when Whitney got an 8 because Bruno put his score in wrong, it was a really big deal. You can't give an 8 until week 3. Like,
it was the
same
hanging
dances,
chad of its time.
The same dances in week 5 that get 8s, if they brought those same dances into week 9, they'd get 10s. It's they're not really, you can't give any 8s before week 3. You can't give any 9s before like week 4 or 5. And they'd have to be really good. Like last night was what, week 5 or week 6? Give your first 10. Now you can do, because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go.
And they're being really conservative with 10s.
They are, but Whitney, if Whitney had trotted out that samba in like week 8, she would have gotten 10s across the board. There's nothing wrong with that samba.
And it's so clear how much order plays into it because randomly, arbitrarily, one of them will decide they need to provide a hyper-specific critique in an otherwise perfect dance when they said absolutely nothing to the worst dance. And they were like, great storytelling. Oh, your vision. And then they'll pick apart someone who did like objectively so much better, but it's because they've gotten so far in the show and they haven't been critical enough. And I don't know.
I do think Whitney is really talented, but last week during her dedication night dance, she was
off.
She was off, and Carrie Ann goes, "You were off by the time. You were off completely with the timing. 9." And it's like,
I know.
if you're off your timing, that's an automatic 7 to me. That's the easiest thing. You can't stay on the beat.
Well, look, she had to dance to the beat, but she had to dance with 2 different men. So that it makes it a little harder.
What, does she have a fandom name?
I don't think so.
The Winnies.
To take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Take it. Wait, okay. Did anyone notice last night Whitney Carson's face when Whitney Levitt was talking?
Yes.
No. What was
it?
It
was wild. No, it was like, what was going through your head this week? You know, you had your lowest scores last week. You were off on the timing. You seemed really upset after that dance. What was going through your head during rehearsals all week as you got ready to do this dance tonight? And Whitney goes, I want to get, and you see Whitney Carson in the back and she looks at Robert Irwin and she goes,
she's off put.
Like, cocky. Like, you see her face.
It was interesting. And the Whitneys trained together.
Yeah, the Whitneys trained together. In the past.
And they don't seem like BFFs though. So, and I want to be clear, I am a big supporter and I've actually broken through to vote for Whitney because I want to see her get to the end because I think this is really important for her and I think she has a career after this and I think this is going to break her out. And I'm like, she is a joy to watch, a thrill to watch, and I actually do think there is an underdog element of like we had no idea, and we all met her when she was like postpartum, going through the most.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Everyone's like, did she have a face transplant? And I'm like, no, I think she just was postpartum and having a tough time, and like it's been several years, and she's more back to herself.
Yeah,
she had face work done. All those Mormons do. They all get work. They're all at Beauty Lab and Laser. Are you kidding? They're all getting work done. She has a chin implant.
But I think too, like if you met me in the summer of 2023. I looked completely, you know what? So if that's your baseline, you're like, somebody got buccal fat surgery. And I'm like, well, no, I was very swollen. I think like when you meet somebody, it matters.
At the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you met me post-divorce, it was rough.
Yeah. I think she just got a light, denture, She
got her pop-on veneers and a little bit of a pull. But the other thing about Whitney is her storyline in season 1 was very much, a woman who's mean to her friends because what's going on at home is so bad, so she's projecting. And that was the season that her husband was accused of being on what they said was Tinder, stepping out on her. But all the Reddit threads revealed it was actually Grindr, which you do you. I don't care. And what you see on Dancing with the Stars, if you're a real Secret Wives of Mormon Lives head, is like how great her husband is.
Yes.
Her husband's amazing. And compared to Zach, who's like, I can't believe I have to change diapers because my wife's dancing. And meanwhile, Connor's
sent
getting
her comments
dressed up.
that I can print from strangers in her trailer.
Yeah. It's crazy. Whitney's husband rose to the occasion for this. He understands that he knew he looked bad in the first season, and this is a little bit of a redeeming path for him, and he's taking it. I love Connor, and they seem really in love and really happy.
I know.
He's
so supportive.
Green. It was so cute.
He was so cute.
Yes, he's like a real participator, and that's like like that's a specific kind of husband energy that I really like and appreciate.
I saw a comment that said Connor is a man written by a woman, and I liked that.
Yes.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And that actually is one of the tenets of this show that I think is very healthy, and I like that America watches, is confident masculinity in a feminine context. Like most of those dancers are straight men. The men will do ballroom dances with each other. They I don't know, even like a Dylan, or like a person like Robert who's just game to get into it. Like the less bashful you are about how crazy you look, the more it lands. Yeah. And you watch Dylan getting less and less shy. But I actually do think that watching these like otherwise manly men really take ownership in the craft and like get into it is kind of special in these trying times where we're, toxic masculinity abounds. Mm-hmm. And I like that part of the show too. Athletes get so into it. Like Danny Amendola doing like a salsa body, wearing a Ken fur. It's just hot. Yeah.
That's why Britt's partner in the beginning of this season didn't read the memo, because he was like, they were like, what do you think all your teammates are thinking watching you on the show? And he goes, oh, I think they're laughing at me. And it's like, that's not what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
No. The athletes get so into it. Amon Shumpert, who won, Nora, a very important piece of Dancing with the Stars is to watch all of Amon and Daniela's dances. And write down your notes. It's very important. Their Halloween night dance. If you liked Wicked, you're going to love Halloween night. Halloween night is generally like one of the most fun nights, I think.
Daniela's skill shines with this song. Like that song she got for Amon. Like what an impossible song to choreograph to. Kind of like Space Mountain and Elaine.
Oh my God, Space Mountain. I was like, that is who would give you that? And she did an amazing job.
Was really,
yeah.
I would say that.
The hard thing about this show too is that it is simply it's branding and advertising dressed up as a competition show. They're like, we're in Disney and it's Wicked night and blah blah. I'm like, oh my
Nora?
God, like it's TikTok. It's wild to me. I'm like,
during
oh boy, it's all like it's all an infomercial.
Oh, you're right. It is.
During Disney night in Amanda Klutz's season, they had moves that they had to incorporate. Everyone had the same move that they had to incorporate into their dance. No matter what dance they were doing, they had a series of moves. Do you remember this, Kate? You didn't watch that season? It was wild. It was like up, down, Mickey ears. And they had to like put it into their dance somehow and make it work with the style of dance. And it was like, and when it was coming up in the dance, you'd get like a lower third with Mickey going like, woo, like Mickey's moves are coming up. And then you'd watch like the pro. It was crazy. It was fever dream-esque. But yeah, it's like, but you know what, Nora? TikTok night has replaced Michael Bublé night. It's replaced Paula Abdul night. Barry Manilow night. The worst of the nights.
Yeah.
Barry Manilow
Name 5 songs. Name 5
But
songs.
like even like when
two.
why am I feel like I'm having like a stroke or I'm experiencing dementia, but like what is it? It's like not programmatic advertising, but it's like it's all like incorporated, even on one of the troops came out and they did a dance that was inspired by Tron Ares, which came out 2 weeks ago.
I was what we call synergy.
Yeah, it's all synergy. It's very 30 Rock.
It's kind of like the Hyundai Santa Fe halftime report brought to you by Honey Nut Cheerios. It's like it's all the world is but an ad.
They're going to be doing a dance in a Hyundai Santa Fe.
We make a living. What are we talking about? Like,
I know.
God, these advertisers.
My entire job is synergy.
No,
Squarespace.
it is so different because it's not the same. It's not the same. I wish it could be the same.
That's what you're thinking of. Product placement.
It's product placement. It's one extended. It truly is an extended infomercial for Disney Corporation. Like,
do you
know? If we had the scale, I'm sure we could and would do that. There's no way for that to even be slightly compared unless all of your segments, Kate, were like, now I have to bring you to the one in a millennial. Like, now it's time for the one in a millennial, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Brought to you by Twinkle Twinkle Social Media Star. And
it's going to be awkward. Groupon is sponsoring the next Kate Layla.
The
Obvious
next
synergy. Speaking of Tron, one of the last things I need to ask Caroline too, are you on Team Haley? Because I'm very into Haley Bills, but the chat is a little mixed on her.
The chat's anti-Haley. I think, she's a Nepo dancer. She's Jenna's cousin.
No, but she was in Dancing with the Stars. She was in Junior Pro.
Oh, she was.
And did you know, so was Alan?
And so was Brandon.
Was Riley. And so was
Brandon. Yeah.
So that's like, I feel like a legitimate pipeline. And she spent the earliest days of her dancing career in Texas and wasn't like trained by Jenna. I don't know. I think Haley's
fine.
Like good. I think that Savannah Bananas routine really thrust her into the spotlight in a big way. And I think that she's coming for Riley's spot. And they were on Dancing with the Stars Junior at the same time. So they're like kind of similar in age. But the thing is, you really do need experience and like gravitas and decision-making ability and like to be a pro. Like, I don't know.
Dancing with the Stars pro-ness, though, separates the dancers from the choreographers.
You're so right, Caroline.
Riley is a great dancer. She's not a good choreographer. And if she can't teach, there's not really much you can do. If Scott, I think someone else in the chat said it, but if Scott had Daniela, he could have maybe made it to the end. Like, there is a technique that's what I mean. Dylan is not a good dancer. The reason why he is improving is Daniela is a good teacher and knows how to be like, okay, here's your skill set and we can work with this. That's why the Iman 5 on it dance is very important to Dancing with the Stars lore. 3 10s across the board. Because Daniela knows, like, okay, well, this guy has height. I'm little. He can throw me around. It's contemporary, so they're not going to yell at us for, like, being out of frame or whatever. And, like, we can make this work. Like, Riley had contemporary, and they just, like, ran around the stage. Like,
and they had one of the best songs.
They had one of the best songs.
Wait, what song did they have? I didn't watch his because it was...
The Wizard and I.
Sorry. Oh.
Wicked
That's
bores
a running
you?
song, though, so...
Wicked bores
Did you
you?
say Wicked bores you?
No, his dances bored me.
Yeah,
you
they're
skipped
boring
his
as
dance.
shit.
Okay,
Yeah. But that was a running song.
Wicked bores you. No one danced to No One Mourns the Wicked. I'm assuming it's because they didn't have an operatic singer in the live band. But that would have been a really ominous, beautiful, cool, like, tango or something.
Didn't they open with No
Intro,
One Mourns the Wicked?
but it was a track.
They always pan to Derek being like, I do think Mark should be on Broadway in Hamilton. I really do.
Mark's left Dancing Stars to do Broadway and came back.
I know he did. He was in Jersey Boys.
I remember thinking it was a big deal in the crossover world when Constantine Maroulis from American Idol did Broadway.
People were making fun of Whitney for, going to LA and trying to be an actress, but I think she's going to be an actress. I think her next act is we're going back to Whitney. Whitney and the Pope. Those are the only two things I'm here to talk about. And the next conclave is actually going to take place on Dancing with the Stars. And
I
it's going to
actually
be
think-
perfect product
I
placement.
think Julianne should watch her dance shoe because I think Whitney could host one day.
Oh.
I don't agree. I think that
Rude.
we're forgetting there is a level of interpersonal awkwardness with Whitney that we're not seeing any of their interactions beyond the surface on the show, but like she genuinely has a hard time with like every single friendship, and it does like I don't think she's like a terrible person. Actually, Nora and I did a whole episode trying to figure out what Whitney did when we were recapping.
Why is her name Whitney? Like, yeah, get off Whitney.
Yeah, because she danced in the NICU, and then Taylor was talking about her miscarriage, and she was like, "Yeah, but my husband's on Grindr, and we moved to Hawaii." And they're like, "What? Way to steal her thunder," which is just not how a real friend conversation would go down. And yeah, I think Whitney, she's a showman. She's a showman. And what I like about her is she's not bashful.
a showman.
She doesn't hold back. She goes for the faces. Whereas like you can tell Alex is having trouble. She's getting better, but she's having trouble with the showman element of just being like a cheeseball. I think Whitney's great, but not a host.
But that's where Whitney's TikTok experience actually elevates her ahead of Alex. Because Alex is, Whitney learned very early, the cringier I am, the more money I make. The cringier I am, the more engagement I get. Like Whitney has already kind of gone through the ringer of like, oh, when I'm the villain, I actually get more attention and I don't really care. Alex wants people to still think she's cool. Whitney doesn't give a shit. Whitney also knows she's not cool. And so like she went into this being like, no one thinks I'm cool.
Interesting.
Alex is a cool girl.
Alex is cool and so pretty and like nice.
She doesn't do it for me.
Really?
She does not do it for me.
Kate, where do you stand on the Alex Cooper versus Alex Earl fault line?
Earl girl.
Earl girl, yeah.
Is Cooper call her daddy?
Mm-hmm. Call me daddy. Yep, call me daddy.
I thought it was called her daddy.
It is.
Oh.
No, I think that I think they're two powerhouses, and Cooper underestimated Earl's star power. Earl got signed on as a spoke to the Alex Cooper hub, when the reality is they're both meant to be hubs.
Yeah.
And they both have the star power, the wealth, the popularity. I don't mind Alex Cooper, and I loved her documentary. I just think Alex tried to like take her under her wing, but she didn't need to be taken under somebody's wing.
Yeah.
They probably just threw a lot of money at her, and they were like, okay, I'll do a podcast. Before we close out, though, I do want to give Nora the floor to talk. What did you want to say about the Pope, Nora?
I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. Say it, Nora. Nora, take the floor.
Now the moment has passed, but it really wasn't about the Pope, and that's...
I'm sorry I cut you off.
It's about... I was, at one point in time, when that Pope retired, I happened to be a person outside the Basilica of St. Mary in Minneapolis when the Pope retired and was asked
by
what
who?
I thought about the Pope's retirement. But, like, I was just going to, like, it might have been after like a funeral mass for Aaron. It was just like, I was like, I'm not here to, and I said, good
like
for
a
him.
Newscaster? Like how do you
a
feel
newscaster,
about retirement?
Care 11 said, what do you think about the Pope retiring? And said like local Catholic. And I was like, local Catholic reacts. And I was like,
Catholic.
You know what? We should encourage them to retire. Why wouldn't you retire? Why are we mad at an old man for retiring? People were really mad. They're like, you can't just retire from being the Pope. He really broke the mold.
Did you
and
say
do we
that?
remember his name? No. But yeah, I was like, why shouldn't he retire? He's old. Like, let him retire.
Yeah.
Like,
take a load off.
You know? Yeah. Let him retire.
Wow.
And, you know, so it's sometimes you get asked sometimes the local news is there. You are asked to make a comment. You got to stay
Sometimes
ready.
you're at the Basilica of Minnesota.
Yeah. When you're
when
you're outside the Basilica, sometimes
at the Domo,
you're gonna get asked
at the
about
Duomo.
Yeah. Yeah. And some
That's
people
so
might
true.
say, are you a local Catholic? Would you like to comment? And you have to say, yeah, I'll do
not
it.
one of those new kinds.
Listen,
I'll tell
at
you
least
that
you're
much.
consistent.
Do you guys have anything you want to promote? Anything you like are dying to say?
I mean, my gift guides are coming out and I'm excited about them. So
Oh, I can't wait.
there's so much going on in November for sales. I'm keeping track of everything and it's hard. It's really hard. And I don't know if you guys know this, but my job is like brain surgery.
Yeah.
And therefore we have to treat it as such. But yeah, my gift guides are coming out this month and I'm excited about it. And that's it.
Can't. I want that white TV so bad. Nora,
Please
you might
take
be
it
back
out.
on in like 2 or 3 weeks because remember we have to. It's a tradition that we poorly review The Secret Lives, and it's coming out November
Tradition.
13th.
Can I
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
ready.
I feel like
No,
we have our
it's just
joint
a
podcast,
thing
and
me
then
and
we
Kate
have
do.
like Caroline and I will do like gift guides or nostalgia. Nora and
We'll
I will
talk-
do like
Popes.
random shit.
The
Secret Life.
podcast.
The Popecast.
Okay, I'm gonna go
all right.
record. I have to go record my ads and
Oh wow, product placement much?
go do my product placement.
was
Yeah, Yeah.
Systematic bullying much?
it's brought to you by Groupon.
I feel like I systematically bullied Nora. I'm sorry
How?
It's okay.
for the Pope stuff.
She
I'm
deserves
very
it.
easy to bully
Honestly.
because I don't even know. It's like
Okay.
Caroline, do you have any closing words for us?
All good things must come to an end.
Class dismissed.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.